Hey, buddy.
Hey.
I almost fucked it up again.
I know.
But yeah, so we got a fun episode today. But
yes, we do.
You want to go ahead and announce what we're drinking?
Well, we said it last week, and we're not excited about it still. So this is TenneKeela. For those of you who are wondering, it's spelled TenneKeela. TenneKeela. This is from Severe Distilling Company in Sevierville, Tennessee. We're not excited about it.
No. I mean, it might be fucking fantastic, but I've got the feeling
I doubt it.
Not.
So next week, as far as what we're drinking,
yeah, buddy,
we don't have a specific thing because we're going to do another grab bag.
Bringing back the grab bag.
So we'll have 8 or 10 airplane-sized bottles.
Yep.
Of booze. Don't know what they'll be, whatever Steven picks out.
Yeah, so if you're drinking along with us, though, just go to your liquor store, buy a bunch of random shit off the airplane bottle section, and it'll be a party.
So we will take a sip of this in a moment when we bring our guest in.
Yeah, which I'm excited about the guest tonight.
Yes, I am too. Housekeeping.
I
wrote down a quick list.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So
we always forget shit.
So friends of the show first, the Two Brothers podcast with Troy and Trevor. Also to the Trevor Jackson podcast. CQ, the Pop Culture Warrior, Tuesday nights on Facebook Live.
He's a sexy motherfucker.
Yes. Andy Harris. He was 2020 guest of the year.
I occasionally sexually harass him on Twitter.
At the Andy Harris on Twitter.
Yep.
On Twitter, he's quite funny. Sticks and Stones, they were on 2 weeks ago.
I don't
so Alyssa and Kristen, I know they swear we're gay.
Yeah, well, it's possible.
Well, you know. Let's see here. Anchor's Hair Co.
Yep.
Friend of the show, Ben, has been on here a couple of times.
Yeah, he just sent Jude some free shit, some new stuff he's coming out with.
Great hair and beard products. Really and good.
Veteran owned.
Yeah, veteran owned. Ben had to write up in some high end magazines.
Esquire and he's also a sexy motherfucker. Just throwing that out there.
He's a great hang. And then he's also co-owner with another. Yeah, he's a great hang. No, I meant what I said.
Okay.
Co-owner of Saints and Sailors Barbershop with other friend of the show, Don Richardson. And then, so if you're dude and you like that kind of atmosphere as far as a barbershop goes, go check them out if you're in the Knoxville area.
Yep.
I go see Kristen at Gambooz's.
Yep.
Because I'm loyal like that.
And but even though far inferior to Saints and Sailors, Gambooz's as a whole, not necessarily. She's probably a very nice lady.
She's a very nice girl. She's Gabe's age. So
still an adult grown lady.
Last, we have some stickers. If you want a sticker, we will send you a sticker. And then we have some t-shirts. We're still working out all of the store stuff. Yeah. But we do have 2 t-shirts that we're trying to figure out what we want to do for a giveaway.
If you have any ideas, let us know.
Yeah, if you got some ideas, let us know. Yep. Other than that, would you like to introduce our guest?
Yeah. So we've got I'm going to bring him up here. We got Mr. Mike, Forged in Fire, winner, season 4, episode 26, I believe, but more important, season 5. Yep. Excuse me. More importantly, a badass bladesmith. And actually, when I was doing some research, I've met you through a mutual friend. And I'm using the F word lightly there because, but
fuck Aaron.
But no, we give Aaron shit a lot because he called into one episode. This has been a while ago. And I don't know, he was definitely off his game, and we joked that he ruined the whole episode. So that's so we lovingly refer to him as the guy that ruined the podcast. But anyway, that's how I got in touch with you. And prior to that, we had Will Willis on actually. So we just joked we should just start being a Forged in Fire podcast.
Right.
But yeah, man. So I guess.
Well, before we get rolling good, we need to.
Oh yeah, cheers.
Need to cheers. So I'm not sure. What are you drinking there, Mike?
Well, I've got tequila and beer. So if you guys are gonna do something hard, I'll do like a quarter shot with you, a little sip.
All right. What kind of
like an hour ago? Why not start drinking?
And do you prefer Mike or Michael?
I don't care. Whatever you want to call me.
All right. Cheers, my friend.
Gabe's got his. All right.
Honestly, most people just call me spicy. Like they don't even say Mike. They just call me spicy.
It's not sweet.
No,
it's not good.
Nope. That's why I'm going with the lime.
It's flavorless. It's like you taste the agave, but nothing else.
Yeah. It's not botanical.
It's like flavored gasoline.
It's like tequila cried, and this is what came out of its eyes.
It's tolerable with lime, but it still isn't good.
Okay.
So anyway,
Oh, along those lines, if anybody listening has alcohol that they would recommend, let us know.
Which we do.
Yeah, but she recommended a shot, and that's a pain in the dick.
Did.
To
You're
mix.
right. It is, and we didn't mention the Drink About It podcast.
Yeah, well,
here.
Why would we?
They took our idea and ran with it.
I know they stole our format. They're now being more successful.
Podcasting. I know.
We
Mike
rabbit trail
Kerley's,
a lot, by the way, Mike.
Yeah. If you watch Forge and Fire, you know him as Spicy Mike. That's what his name comes up there on the screen, Spicy Mike. The only person I've ever seen put hot sauce on a banana.
Yep.
Except maybe Hillary Clinton, because she always has that in her purse, she said. She said she always has hot sauce in her purse. Well, she was on, Sway in the Morning or something like that. And they asked her, what's something that you always have with you at all times? No, it's a radio show. They asked, what is something you always have on you at all times? And this is a black podcast, largely black audience. And she said, hot sauce.
Interesting.
I keep it in my purse, she says.
Maybe she does.
Okay.
You're being very judgmental.
I am very
for
judgmental.
Someone that has never met the lady personally. Her husband plays a goddamn saxophone. You need to settle the fuck down.
Okay.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
you can chime in, buddy, any time.
Yeah. I was enjoying that. That was hilarious.
So anyway.
So I would like to, just because I know history. Like I said, I'm excited to talk to you about a bunch of shit, but I just want to get all the Forged and Fire shit out of the way up front so we can talk about more fun things, if that's okay with you.
It's your podcast, man. I'm just here to drink and have fun.
That's cool.
Good. I wish everyone had that attitude when they were on here. I'm just here to drink and have fun.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the reasons I like podcasting so much, and I'm glad Aaron got me in touch with you guys. I've been through a lot of interviews, and the interviews are very forced. They're like, can you say this, but can you say it maybe a little this way? Whereas doing podcasts, it doesn't matter. You just chill and talk.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So say whatever you want on here.
Yeah.
Well, we don't edit anything.
Yeah. Just beware. We don't edit anything when the podcast goes out. So.
Perfect. The last 30 minutes are going to be really fun after about.
Well, and the reason I say that is because, like, obviously a lot of people know you much from Forged and Fire and winning that and the other stuff, but there's a lot more going on with obviously your life. Like, you're not the little box of making shit for, you're not the guy that put the hot sauce in the banana. Like, you're a little bit more of a human being than that. Maybe not much.
Well, not if you ask the internet. If you ask the internet, I'm just the guy that deep throated the spicy banana. Like,
right. And
if you guys watch that episode, they got the other guys doing such cool stuff in slow motion. They're grinding and sparks are everywhere. They're hammering and glowing steel bouncing around. Then they got a slow-mo of me with like a banana 8 inches in my throat.
Right.
It's history.
So, I will say, though, the beard and hair have gotten much longer since that episode. It's a thing of glory.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. All I did was not shave, and it happened.
It's amazing. It's amazing how that works. If I didn't shave for a long time, I would have a really long, like, chin beard and my neck, but nothing up here would be long at all. It would be disgusting.
Oh, you would look like the worst virgin.
Yeah.
You're the definition of neckbeard guy.
Yeah, that absolutely would be. And the mustaches. I have a good mustache. The blonde thunder, as I like to call it.
Would look like that Asian guy. They got the long side.
It'd be exactly.
So back to the bananas for just a second. Did you bring the bananas on the show just for that, or did they bring? Was that Craft like table. The producers?
They have snacks on set and stuff. So when I was talking about, they caught me saying Mr. Crab Hands, like, my hands were actually cramping. I was very dehydrated and it was very hot in there. Mm-hmm. So when I was gripping the blade to grind it, my hands were cramping shut. And they noticed that, and they were like, hey, man, we got some bananas. The potassium should help with that. And I was like, there's no way it's going to help in time. But hell yeah, I'll take a prop. Like, give me that. Right. So they gave me a banana, and I did like a Coke line of my Reaper sauce on it. And yeah, and now I'm known as the spicy banana guy.
Forever.
Well, would you rather be known as Spicy Banana Guy or like Will, guy with huge cock on a TV show? Because that's kind of what that's all the talk on the forums about him. So,
Willis,
yeah.
Oh, is he just like got his junk hanging? What's up with that?
No, I mean that's just all of
it's just a couple threads, but there's a few.
Well, I see a lot of it
because they always had him in the tight pants.
Yes,
and the Stuggin. So there's a lot of zoomed in shots and whole threads about his dick being over parameters and things of that.
lately the will talk has been.
I'd rather be over parameters than not be parameters.
That's right. There you go. Lately the will talk has all been, why is Will not on there anymore?
Yeah,
but
which I know actually, but I
do you?
Yeah, well, I know loosely.
Okay,
loosely.
I can imagine why, just knowing what I know about him and what I know about the way it's produced.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just my theory, and I'm not going to throw it out there. I'll let everybody else make their own decision.
And that's kind of how I'm like, before we had him on, I talked to him and asked, anything that we could or couldn't talk about, whatever. And he was like, whatever, there's just some things I can't talk about. And he kind of gave me not necessarily the reason, but the reason he couldn't talk about it, and which kind of reading between the lines, kind of like yourself.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Just leave it at that. It's his thing to deal with, not ours.
Exactly. He was a funny dude to talk to, though. We got him on some good rants. It was a good time.
Oh yeah, he was fun.
But so obviously, like I was talking to, like my dad loves after he started watching Forged in Fire, he went out and bought a forge, he bought an anvil, he bought all this shit. And my dad has myasthenia gravis, so it's kind of like MS or whatever. So he gets tired, putting a nail in the wall. But he was somehow convinced that he was going to go and make blades and got all this shit. So I'm going to inherit some cool stuff at some point in my life.
Nice.
But I just think it's funny because it was this huge phenomenon, at least with like the demographic it was aimed for, right? It became this huge thing and still is. People are all about that. But how long were you making blades and shit like that before? Like, how does that process work getting on to that stage, I guess? What the fuck? I can't talk.
Yeah, what is it like? I mean, how did you get on Forged in Fire?
Yeah,
that's a much simpler way to word it.
I talk like I have dicks in my mouth all the time. And
no, just spicy bananas. But yeah, so to get on the show, you literally just if they find you, sometimes they need people and not enough good people have applied.
Right.
But if sometimes they'll go searching for people and they'll reach out to you. But in my case, I had to apply. So they put out a casting call, which basically like, hey, we're looking for people to be on the show. Here's an email. Send an email to this email. And I actually quit watching the show for like 2 seasons because I kept applying. And they kept being like, oh, thanks, but your knives suck. So I kind of quit watching the show just to be a butthead. But then eventually they were like, oh, yeah, we need anybody from the bottom of the barrel. Come on. I went and ended up winning. Right. One of the other guys I was on with, he said it, and he's exactly right. Like, there's not even any reason to be mad. He was like, I think that you were the guy that they brought on just needing someone to go out first round. And based on what my knives looked like at the time, especially compared to the other 3 competitors, I was like, yeah, you're dead right, bro. Like, I learned.
Well, that's what. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, you almost asked a question, and I assume you meant to word it in there somehow. Basically, how long was I making before I was on the show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to combine those 2 questions into one, and it just didn't work. But yeah.
Yeah. But so basically, I made my first knife in like 2019, but I never got serious about knife making until like 2 years before I went on the show. So sure, I made some knives here and there before that. But it only started about 2 years before I went on the show. Not when it aired, when I went and recorded, because that was like 8 months later that it aired. But that's when I decided I'm gonna start learning the metallurgy behind this. I'm gonna start doing everything less backyard way, more as professionally as I can. And like that's when I started my actual learning experience as a smith. Was about 2 years before I went on the show.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so. You said it was recorded 8 months before it went on. Did they make? I'm assuming they made you sign an NDA that you couldn't disclose anything at all prior to it airing, or no? Are they pretty loose about that?
I think it depends. So I did have to sign a non-disclosure agreement, and you're not allowed to say how you did or what happened. But as far as I knew, you weren't not allowed to say that you went. You just couldn't say how you did.
Sure.
Gotcha.
But the only people I talked about it to were like very close friends of mine.
Yeah.
And I had a secret group on Facebook of my closest smith friends, and none of them would have leaked any of it anyway.
Right.
So it's not like it really went anywhere. And I didn't even say how I did. I basically just said that I went on and I had fun and I met some cool people and that kind of stuff. I didn't really like give any information that would spoil the show for anyone.
Right.
So you get on the show, and you're doing well. But, you know, typically the first round is 3 hours long. Maybe you've got a design period. I don't remember your particular episode if you guys got that 10-minute design window or not, but that 3 hour forging time, I hope that it's a straight 3 hours and there's not a lot of stopping in between to reshoot things. How does that work on the show?
So when you come in and they're doing the interviews and they're doing the judges talking and they're, you know, revealing what it is they want you to make and stuff, during that, there's a whole lot of stand here, say this again this way. The judges, like, they'll be in the middle of a sentence and they've got like these little things in their ears where the directors can talk to them and be like, hey, you know, try saying this, or, you know, this certain scripted thing and things like that. You know, and that just makes for good production. It's not like forcing anybody to do anything they don't want to. They're just trying to make the show as entertaining as they can.
Right.
So in all of the interim stuff, there's a lot of that kind of thing. But when that timer starts, it's real, and there's no going back and doing another take. Like, if you're doing something, the camera gets it or it doesn't. They might stop you to be like, hey, can you explain what you're doing real quick, or something like that. But other than that, they work around you. They stay out of your way.
That's cool.
That is cool. That's what I had hoped. So
no, I always laugh though, because a lot of people are like, well, they could do this or they could do that. I'm like, you have 3 hours to forge whatever. Like, that's not a lot of time to pull out what they're wanting you to pull out, usually, I would imagine. And that's kind of like the purpose of the show, is to kind of set people up that might usually take a lot longer to do something, cram in a short amount of time. Because that, again, it's drama, you know, on TV, that crunch for time.
Well,
yeah, it's just a game show with drama, like you said. That's all it is. But you know, I'm just gonna say, for my particular episode, what they gave us, 3 hours was way more than enough time for the first round. Like,
well, it's edited like it's down to the fucking wire.
Sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now I will say the second round they split. They filmed an hour and a half, and then we broke for lunch, and then we filmed the second hour and a half. But, you know, being in the second round, you're still getting the same amount of time. We just ate in the middle. That's it. So. Well, yeah, like I said, they don't really get in your way. But I don't know. I feel like the amount of time they give you, at least for the task we were presented on our episode, was plenty of time. I won't say more than enough, but it was plenty of time to do what we needed to do.
Okay.
So, and you kind of said something that's actually different than what I would have thought, but I guess you got, in theory, depending on which episode you watch, 6 hours from start to finish to make a knife.
Yeah.
And I think they typically fall, somewhere around 12 or 16 inches long, and whatever parameters they put on you as far as a handle and whatever goes. So 6 hours to make that start to finish. What typically would that take you in your own, you know, shop to make a knife similar to the one you made there? How much time would you spend on that start to finish?
Probably about the same amount, really. Okay. A lot of what goes into making, like, people are saying, oh, you need to make so much per hour. But in a skill trade like this, what you make per hour is kind of like, you can't price your stuff that way.
Uh-oh.
Well, we lost him for a second.
Yeah.
So when he comes back, we'll.
That's a hell of a screenshot.
That is a hell of a screenshot. So you want to? Oh, there you are.
Am I back? Okay, sorry about that. Our internet here. If a big enough truck goes by, it glitches for a second.
No, that's fine. We got you back. Sorry.
That's fine. So
right, where was I when I cut out?
You were saying that you can't really price yourself out by the hour.
Oh, right. Okay. So, in a skill trade like this, you're not paying me for my time. It might not take me very much time to make one of my high-end knives. Like, let's say 10 hours tops for an $800 knife. Well, that's not a lot of time. People are like, why are you charging $800 if it only took you that amount of time? Well, because you're not paying me for my time. You're paying me for my experience to know how to make that knife in that short amount of time.
Sure.
Well, I mean, in a very real way, it is another type of art. I don't mean just another type, but I mean, it's something that it's a lot more than just the work that goes into it. Like, a painting might only take, you know, 3 or 4 hours, or even a day or a couple days to get done, but it's far more valuable to what it means to somebody than it is just the hours that the artist put into it. I mean, in a very real way.
And if you've never looked at any of these custom made knives, especially when you get into like Damascus, where they're all one of a kind, like, just to look at one of those, it's insane. They're absolutely beautiful knives. And I want a knife like that. I just can't because you know how I am about spending money on myself. I can't justify it because I know how much I'll use it. It won't be a lot, but I want one bad.
Well, buy one for Krista for her birthday, and then she won't want it, and then you'll be like, well, I guess I have to keep this knife.
Sure.
The exact thing that you're talking about right now is mostly why I do kitchen knives. Because most people are like, oh, I love, I want my knives to be collected. I want to be famous and stuff like that. And that's not me.
Right.
I'm more of like, if someone buys my knife, I really want them to use it because I designed my knives to perform, especially my kitchen knives, perform very well. Like the reason you enjoy it is because you're cutting with it and you're like, wow, this thing just cuts like mad. So that's mostly why I do kitchen stuff, because it's used all of the time, if not multiple times a day. If you buy a camp knife or something, like how often do you go camping? Like twice a year?
Yes.
Something like that. So I think that's mostly like what you're saying. I can't justify it. Well, yeah, because you only go camping like twice a year. Whereas if you buy a kitchen blade, you're using that thing like once, twice a day. So you get to feel what you pay for. And
you have some, and just to blow smoke up your ass for a minute, like you have some beautiful kitchen knives. I've looked through your stuff as recently as yesterday. Look through some of your photos and things. You have some beautiful kitchen knives. My wife wants a custom set of kitchen knives, and we priced one out from a local guy here one time, and it was like $500 for a set of, I don't know, 6 different kitchen knives. Not
a bad price.
I agree, it's not a bad price, but my wife is just like, I don't know about that. Like, she got cheap on me for a moment there. Really? Like, and I'm fine with it. If she told me I'm going to buy $1,000 set of custom kitchen knives, I'd say, yeah, okay. Just make sure they look good. That's it.
Right, well, give your wife my number.
I don't have your number. He does, so I'll have to get it from him. But no, yeah. I'll tell her to contact you.
Yeah.
And it's balls in her court at that point.
I don't know, but see, we're very different in that. Like, if I decide I'm going to get something, like, I don't mind paying a fuck ton of money.
I'm the same way, except it takes me a long time to get to the point where I'm going to get it.
Yeah. I also love art more than you.
I got you.
I cherish artisans far more than you do.
Yeah, go for it. Well, whatever you need to tell yourself, man.
I don't call myself an artist or an artisan. I'm a tool maker. Again, why I like making kitchen knives, because you can feel what you paid for, and it makes you happy like every time you use it. Whereas if you just hang it on the wall, which is what I consider art, is things you look at.
Yeah.
And it's not the true definition of art, but in my mind, that's why I try to separate my knives from art, because I don't want people to buy them because they're pretty or because they want to collect them. I want them to use them. I want it to be a tool.
Yeah.
That's, if I was a bladesmith, I would market exclusively to serial killers.
Would you?
Absolutely. That would be, I want something beautiful and functional.
Good God. Push it on you, bro.
Oh, so do you have any more Forged in Fire questions? Because you said you wanted to get Forged in Fire out of the way.
I did, but I mean, I didn't have many specific. I just thought you're a lot more interested a lot of times than behind the scenes stuff than I am for a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, I do have some more questions, but I want to make sure I'm not stepping on you.
No, not at all. How I knew you did. That's why I opened the door for it. And I hate hearing you talk, so I figured we could get out of the way first.
So, what's the atmosphere like on set? I mean, do the judges seem to get along with? Well, do the judges seem to get along with each other? Do the judges and Will seem to get along? Do the judges ever did, in your experience? Obviously, you're on there for 2 episodes, but was there ever any friction between any of the contestants and the judges? I mean, just in general, what's it like on set?
For what I understand, there has been some episodes where there's been quite a bit of friction between some of the competitors.
Mm-hmm.
That was an issue maybe on their episode, but as far as on my episode, everybody got along fine. We weren't supposed to interact with the judges, but they're bladesmiths just like us. So if we got a pocket knife, they're gonna come over and be like, "Hey, what you got there?" Because we're nerds, Sure, they're a judge on the show, but that doesn't make them not a knife nerd still, So as far as on my episode, it went fine. Everybody got along. We had a good time. I really did enjoy hanging out with Will, and I will say on my particular episode, the first one anyway, he went out of his way to do a really nice thing. So if you caught the Cutting Deeper version of my episode, since Will made the banana thing so funny, I made a hot sauce specifically for Will, and I called it Will's Fiery Habanana Sauce. Yeah, so it was a sweet habanero banana hot sauce. And apparently he can't handle spicy stuff very well, like because of his stomach. Not like he's a wuss. I mean, I think he's like ex-special forces or something, right? Like obviously he's a tough guy.
I'd fight him.
I'd pay to watch that. Yeah.
I'd record it.
I'm not paying the hospital bill afterwards, though.
Oh, that's fair. You can come and interview me post after when I'm in the hospital. So.
It'd be hard to talk with that tube down your throat, man.
Right. It wouldn't be a tube.
Yeah, well, I felt unfortunate fire with banana. But yeah, anyway, Will went the extra mile, even though he's not very good with hot stuff. I guess he said something to his wife about it, and I guess his wife guilt tripped him into actually trying the hot sauce just to make me feel better. So he did that, and he paid the price for it later. But apparently one of the set told him that I was a little down, that he didn't want to try it. And yeah, I was like, oh, drat, no big deal. But this one particular person was like, I know how to do this. So I guess this is what she told me. I don't know if it's true, but I guess somebody got a hold of his wife, and his wife kind of guilt tripped him into doing it.
That's funny.
You'll have to fact check that with him. I don't know.
That's a good producer right there. Okay. I think I'm pretty oh, hold on a minute. I do. Because I asked Will this and he didn't really give me a straight answer.
I loved his answer though.
Yeah. Doug Marcaida.
Yeah.
He really seems to kind of get into that to the extent that he's almost crazy with that when a blade gets in his hand. Like, is there reality to that, or is that a little put on for the show?
I guess what do you mean by crazy? Like, does he
just can see it in his eyes, and he really gets into slicing those pig carcasses up.
Okay, so you might find this as a surprise.
Okay,
but when I was there, Jay was the one that does that.
Sure,
he gets up there and he's got his eyes get like the size of Texas, and he's got your blade in his hand. He's like, I'm gonna break this thing. I'm gonna try really hard. This could be really fun. Like, it's this like big serial killer grin and everything.
I like Jay a lot.
I don't think Doug does that. Doug seems to keep his chill pretty good, but the blade, like Jay gets up there with your blade and he turns like into a 3-year-old with candy, man. He's just like,
nice.
Oh, man.
So let's see. The second episode that you were on. How, because you didn't make the final round to go against Dave Baker. That was the final challenge. You had to go against the judge. So I don't know if you've seen that episode.
No, I haven't seen any of the newer episodes.
Well, this was season 7.
It's not on Hulu yet, so no, I haven't.
No, you're right. It's not. The final round was you had to create a blade and be against Dave Baker.
Okay.
So, and I know Dave makes almost all, if not all of those weapons that you see. Some of them are from Smith's, from different episodes hanging up around there, but all the prop weapons, and he works for different shows and things like that doing stuff. But like, what can you tell us about Dave? How would that have been to have made a weapon against Dave, do you think? I mean,
because he's an oddly attractive man, by the way.
He's an interesting guy. I like Dave.
Well, what's that?
I said he is very dapper.
Yeah,
yes.
He's very dapper.
I think they call him dandies.
Yeah.
But I think going up against Dave, I don't want to say this in a way that would be offensive, I hope, but I know that Dave is mostly a prop maker, and he mostly uses 5160, which is, I just got in an argument with someone earlier today about 5160. I personally hate that steel. I don't think it's a good sword steel, I guess. It's good for something that's high impact or high toughness, like springs. There's a lot of springs made out of 5160. I'm sure there's a lot of things that need to be resilient made out of 5160, but personally, I don't enjoy it as a blade steel. I think there are better steels out there. So if I were to go against Dave, he probably would use a 5160. And I think I could probably bring something to the table that would outperform that, just in the idea of what the blade itself is made of. So would it be hard to go against Dave? It's hard to give a straight answer because I haven't done it. So that's about all I have to say. But I will say, as much as it sucked to go out in the first round of that newest episode, I could not have made that episode as good and as hilarious as Colin did. I was laughing.
Yeah.
That aired, I was rolling the whole episode.
Nice.
Yeah, I finally found it. I've just watched that episode last night. I finally found it was on. I paid for it, but it was on Amazon.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was. He was funny. Yeah. So
Colin's a great guy.
I think that's all the Forged in Fire episodes questions I've got.
Okay.
So
good job.
Next. What got no I'm not going with Forged in Fire now.
Okay.
You were too quiet for too long.
Okay, that's fine.
So what got you into bladesmithing? Like what made you decide? What did you do before that, and what led you in that direction?
This is actually probably the most boring story ever told by humankind. So what got me into
bladesmithing? Judge of
that.
Hold on. You have never heard Joey tell a story on here. That is, there's no way.
As much as you guys stutter, I'm sure it would be quite a long story.
Yes.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah. I already hate this guy.
Thank you. Anyway.
No, he's not that far away from us. We could actually take a weekend trip and go visit him sometime.
I'm sure he'd love that.
I'm sure he would too.
Where are you guys located?
So we're in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh, it's not too bad. It was about 4 to 6 hours somewhere there.
Something like that, yeah. We actually, there's a Forged in Fire champion that is in Knoxville as well. I don't remember what episode he's on, but his name's John Phillips.
I'm not familiar with it.
That's fine.
People are like, "Oh, you've been on the show. Did you see the new episode?" I'm like, "No." They're like, "But you were on it. Don't you watch it?" Like, not unless one of my friends are on. No, not really.
Right. You're busy making art.
Well,
no, I'm just kidding. No, of course you don't have time to go watch TV to catch every episode. You're busy making knives.
Yeah, if I'm gonna watch TV, I'm watching like Cowboy Bebop, man. Something more.
There you go.
Yeah, a lot of people don't expect me to be a big weeb. They're like, "Oh, you're a Forged in Fire guy. You do manly stuff, right? Like fix trucks and drink Bud Light." Like, no, I watch anime.
No, dude, you're a Navy sub guy. I know absolutely that's not true.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like no sane person gets in a boat that sinks on purpose.
No.
I've never heard it put that way before.
Yeah, somebody told me that one. They're like, "You guys are crazy," and I was like, "What? Why?" They're like, "You get in a boat that sinks on purpose," and I was like, "That's a good point."
Yeah, that's how Aaron and I bonded. He just was an asshole to me about being in the Coast Guard and out that. So that's how.
It's like my first Navy. That's cute.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
it's like a toy from the 80s.
That's all the time we have.
No, this is my house. He can stay on here as long as he wants. Go ahead.
Let's see how long it takes me to get him to leave. You asked me a question. I don't even remember what it was.
What?
I got into it. Yeah. So, being a weeb, I was 18, and when you're 18, you're like, "Oh, ninjas are cool, all right?" Because you believe that stuff when you're 18. That's what 18-year-olds do. They're like, "Ninja Turtles were real. You can't change my mind." But so I was into like throwing knives and kunai and shuriken and stuff like that. But you can't look for that kind of stuff without like coming across like swords, right? Like katanas and stuff. And I got a couple from the mall, but obviously they were garbage.
Right.
I'm like, all right, well, I want to do some research and find out, like what is a good one? Like, can I get a usable one at an affordable price? Turns out you can. For just a little over $100, you can get a semi-decent sword. If you know where to look. Like, there's lots of scams, but if you know where to look, you can find it. But I came across a forum that broke a lot of that stuff down, like what is good entry-level swords and stuff like that. So there was a subsection on that forum about blade making. I was like, oh, that's cool. I want to try it. So I did. And that's the story.
That's so. Were you doing that when did you actually go in? Because I obviously, if everyone doesn't fucking matter. I was saying, obviously you're a vet because we talked about that. Did you do any of this while you were in? Like, when did you go in into the Navy during that point in time?
I went in the Navy when I was 18, which would have been 2018. Yep. And then this was in.
Hold on. It was when?
2008. I'm sorry.
Okay, I was going to say you were significantly younger than I thought.
Now, how old do you think I am?
I would have said about 30.
Oh, wow. Damn. Nobody gets it right. That's impressive.
Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's what people call me.
Yeah. Well, that's probably right.
Yeah. Impressive.
Spicy Jesus.
I get a lot of spicy Jesus. I've actually got a meme that somebody did of me. It's got a picture of me from my episode where I'm like giving like, "Are you sure?" eyes. Yeah. And it's got me doing that, and it says, "Skeptical Jesus doubts your repentance."
You're right. I saw that meme actually the other. Right, it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus of Nazareth.
So yeah. Well, I screwed up. Yeah, I said 2019 earlier. I meant 2009 when I made my first knife. So
okay.
Yes, I
wasn't going to say anything, but I was like, "You're pretty fucking good for have only been doing it for like a year or two when you went on the show." But okay.
Yeah, I did it for a negative amount of years, apparently.
Right.
No, I made my first knife in 2009, and that was when I was still in the service, and I used a piece of steel that I was not supposed to have because I got it out of a recycled dumpster on base. Nice. The best guess was it was sub-hull steel, like the outer hull.
Yeah.
So that's what the best guess of what was in that dumpster was. I don't know what it was. I didn't even know what hardenable or non-hardenable steel was at the time. Luckily, it was hardenable, and it was shallow hardening, and I put a hamon on it. So my very first knife had a hamon on it, which was kind of neat. And as far as I know, my ex-brother-in-law still has the knife.
That's what I was going to say. Where is that knife now?
And what the fuck is hamon?
Oh,
spelled Hamon, correct?
Yes. Is it cool if I
Michael Jackson
like right in the other room?
Ammo.
Hey Moon.
Hey Moon.
If you want me to grab an example, there's one like literally right.
Go for it.
Go for it, man.
I'll take anything you want to show us tonight, except your bananas.
But your dick is probably I can't talk for shit. I mean, I never can, but it's even worse tonight. What it is last week got in my head.
Last week, what?
Oh yeah, our big arguments, and I just tripped all over my words. I couldn't
consider that an argument?
No.
Oh, okay.
Our debate.
Okay.
And I spoke poorly because actually afterwards it's been bothering me all goddamn week.
Oh yeah.
And I looked a couple things up. I was like, that's exactly what the fuck I was trying to say, and I couldn't spit it out. It pisses me off so much when I can't say the things that are in my head, and you know this
because it makes you feel like you don't know what you're talking about for a moment,
right? And you know that, but so you know that if you push that, it just fucking gets under my skin.
No, it's not that, but I mean, if you really go back and listen to it, like I didn't change anything. I said the same thing.
No, I know, and I kept rewording, but I actually looked it up because while he's out there, I want to. It's not on there now. It doesn't matter.
I want to know his. I mean, he's not going to say it, and I'm not going to press him for it. But
what happened?
Nothing. No, we were talking about an argument we had last week.
Yeah.
All right. So sorry, I had to run in the basement. It wasn't where I thought it was. But can you see that line? That's in the blade. So that line is like you etch the blade, and the hardened steel versus the soft steel on the spine etches differently. So the little line in the middle is what's referred to as the hamon.
Okay,
nice.
Yep. I should probably have known that, but I
so
didn't.
That knife you just held up, what would a knife like that cost?
Well, that one was made for a friend of mine.
Sure.
He lent me some money quite a while ago, and I never ended up paying him back. But his wife contacted me and was like, "Hey, I'd like to get that knife for his birthday." And I was like, "Okay, cool." You know, he gave me that a while back, so here's this price for her in particular. But normally that would be like $300 to $500, depending on specifics.
Okay.
It is beautiful.
It is. Yeah.
Mm. So until I started watching Forge and Fire at one point in time, I had no idea there were that many types of steels. Like I knew hardenable and unhardenable steel, or not hardenable, but mild steel.
Sure.
That was it. Like when you guys start throwing out different numbers, different grades of steel, I was like, holy shit, I had no fucking clue there were that many.
Yeah.
Like, there's steel and there's not steel.
No, see, I had worked in a machine shop, so I knew there were shitloads of steel, but I had never heard as far as hardenable, you know, heating a blade up and then quenching it to harden it. Like you don't do that in a machine shop. You just know whatever steel we're using today or whatever metal we're using today. Like Inconel is fucking insane how hard it is. That depends. Go ahead.
I'm familiar with it. Sorry, I'm laughing because I know what you mean.
Yeah. So that determines what kind of end mill or whatever you're using to cut with. So I knew that there were shitloads of different types of steel, but I'd never heard hardenable as far as that goes before. But I couldn't tell you if I were going to do something, which steel to use. So, I mean.
Yeah, see, that's where guys like us come in. It's like earlier when you were like, oh, I should probably know this stuff. Like, no, you shouldn't know that stuff. That has nothing to do with your everyday life.
Right.
Like or whereas someone like me who's a full-time smith, that is our life, like knowing that kind of stuff. So don't feel bad about not knowing, because you don't really have a reason to. Like, why would you do that when you could just be like, hey, I need this kind of knife, what do you recommend? And then somebody more knowledgeable on the subject can help you out.
Well, my son's in the room, and I've told him I know everything, so that's why I have to be there. No, I'm just.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
What is the day in the life of a full-time smith?
Well, a lot of quacking. I have a pet duck, and she likes to be in the way a lot.
All right.
Yeah. So there's that. But other than that, I don't know. It's not really different than any other version of working for yourself. Like, I did HVAC with my grandpa for a while because he needed some help with his business. It's really not any different. You just get up and you do whatever it is needs done. I don't know. I will say I like it a lot better than working a day job. I do the same amount of work every day, but this morning, for some reason I couldn't sleep last night. I didn't go to sleep until 8:30 this morning. Like, yeah, I don't know why. I got up like 30 minutes before I was supposed to be on the podcast with you guys. So that's one thing I like about working for myself and being able to work from home, is that I can make my own schedule. But as far as what it's like to be a full-time bladesmith, your mileage is going to vary depending on who you talk to. So it's hard to give a definitive answer on that kind of thing.
Okay. I would have a very hard time. Like, I've thought on numerous occasions, I would really like to work for myself, have a business, some shit like that. And I was like, I am not nearly disciplined enough to like set a daily structure or whatever the fuck it else. Cause like, I'm really bad on the business side. Like, we have a buddy, his name is, we call him Kerley. He's an entrepreneur by trade. That's what he does. He fucking builds businesses and ends up selling it. Like, he's super hardworking dude. I'm like, I don't have the know-how. B, I'm too lazy to gain the know-how. And C, like, I'm just way not disciplined enough to set, like, I'll work 70 hours a week or 60 hours a week at a job and do well at it. But as far as doing that on my own time, I'm like, yeah, no, I can't.
That is something that took me a long time to get used to, is like there's a lot of motivation that, like, when I first, like, the last job that I had, that is the first job I've ever walked out of. I was just so done. I was so tired. I just straight up left. But in the 6 months after that, it was it was a big learning curve of like, okay, so you have work to do, but there's nobody to tell you to do it. So you don't have to do it, right? Well, then you're like, oh man, the money I had left over from where I was working ran out, and I still have bills to pay. I have all these orders that I took, and now they feel overwhelming, and I don't want to do them. So instead of doing that, I'm just going to go stand in my shop and stare at my project for 6 hours straight, and then go in and get drunk. And let's tomorrow, and then nothing ever gets done. There is a big you have to learn to motivate yourself, and it's not easy or good for everyone. Also, right. I talk all the time about shop depression. One of my friends actually started a group because I brought it up, and he's like, you know what? You're right. We should talk about this. He has more free time to do it, so he's kind of heading the front on that. But I feel like I did shed a lot of light on that, because I had a lot of people that were like, oh my God, I thought I was the only one. I thought there was something wrong with me. Like, no, it's a real thing, and it's a real thing that you have to work through and actively avoid. So yeah, it sounds nice. People are always like, oh, it must be fucking nice, right?
Yeah, it's hard, man.
Yeah, they say it all the time. It's like, must be nice. You can take a day off whenever you want. Like, for starters, I don't take days off, so there's that. Well, other than today, I guess, technically. But yeah, like, it's got its ups and downs, and it's definitely not for everybody.
Yeah. Well, it's outside of the discipline you have to learn. You also have to be multifaceted. I mean, you're essentially your own corporation. And like, for me, I had a brief period of time where I played music full time, and I could go up, show up to a show, play. I was punctual, all that shit. But as far as like the marketing, the actual business side of things, I was so shitty at that, because I'm very good in particular areas and I know my strengths. But a lot of the stuff I did suffered because of that. And like, I don't know. I feel like if you kind of have to be a jack of all trades in the area you're an expert in. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have a little bit of skill set you learn on those other areas. It
is rather hard trying to be the guy that runs the business, the guy that makes the product, the shipping department, right. HR. It's odd when you have to file a sexual harassment file on yourself.
Absolutely.
Not as odd as you'd think.
I'm having a meeting in a room with just me, be like, listen, man, you got to stop touching him like that. Like,
Like I only file a complaint when I don't swallow. That's the only time I ever, myself.
See, I worked for my dad at one point. That's odd.
Oh shit.
I'll take a shot to that comment.
Yeah, right. So actually, along those lines, as far as working for yourself and doing those things, like kind of like you said, people think it's easy, and not that I've done it that much, but I mean, I could know it's difficult. Oh, hey, he's holding the glass.
Oh, all right.
My bad, sir.
No, you're good. Keep going.
I was just kind of reiterating what you said. Is it's much more challenging, and that also that if you're not working, you're not making money. So it's not like you can just kind of show up, send some emails, sit on your ass all day, and get paid. You know what I'm saying? Like there has to be at some point, like you said, that shit's piling up. I've got to work or I don't have anything. It's one of the two. It's such a 24. It's such a cliche, but it's literally it's a 24/7 thing. You're always got shit to do.
Well, and my dad's a small business owner, so so I kind of get a little bit of
trust fund, bitch.
No, we had this discussion at Christmas time. I'm not a trust fund. No, he said I'm spending it all before I die. So no, but I get like essentially you work on contracts. I mean, maybe there's no signed contract or anything. Somebody orders something from you, a kitchen knife set or whatever. It's the same gist as someone having, because my dad works on contracts as far as his machine shop goes. So
would you call him a contractor?
No, probably not. No, but although he could be, but anyway, so being in business for yourself, you have these contracts, you can work on it when you want, like you said, but the sooner you get it done, as long as the quality is still there, then technically the more money you make on the contract. Now for knives, I'm sure it's slightly different than like for him. It's the quicker they get it done in a machine shop, the more money they make on it. But to what Stephen was saying, when you're not working, you're not making money if you're a business owner. But there are ways to kind of, like you said, you don't take a day off. So there are ways to kind of get around some of that downtime when you decide to stay up until 8:30 in the morning and sleep all day or whatever. So I get what you're saying.
My brain was like, you know what we're doing tonight? Not sleeping.
So Hunter, what did you do through the night till 8:30 in the morning?
Vodka.
Nice. Not the vodka part, but the drinking part.
Yeah, no, I do drink. I don't drink during the day because I got stuff to do. But at night, I pile it on, and people are like, "Wow, you're an alcoholic." I'm like, "Sure, but I'm a functioning one."
Yeah.
To your point, I like that. That's it. I just couldn't sleep last night. It wasn't like I had a mega order to fill or something. But to your point that you said earlier. I wouldn't say working for yourself is more challenging. It's just a totally different set of challenges than working for somebody else. Like, say you do work, like, let's say an office job. You always have fucking Margaret, right? She's always over there. She's always talking shit about everybody. She's
fucking like, Margaret. I hate that
guy, and she's always filing a complaint because you sneezed wrong. Like your boss is a dick. Like you always have that level of stress working at a job. You have the same amount of stresses when you work for yourself. They're just manifested in a different way.
Right.
Well, yeah, you have no one else to blame it on at that point.
Right. Yeah. And then you do have to learn a lot of self-humbling and a lot of self-respect, because if you do work a day job, like if something doesn't get done, you can be like, oh, well, Joey didn't do that part, so I couldn't finish my thing, and like whatever. And then, you start blaming.
I didn't feel like it.
That's the entirety of this podcast. I'm like, fuck this. You didn't do it.
Yeah, see, you guys work together. You get it. You hate each other. It's fine. But
that's true.
There's there's a lot of stresses that come along with both. You just have to decide which one is good for you and how your personality works.
Yeah. So actually along those lines, there's a kind of split. Do you do mostly commission work, or do you make things when you don't have commissions coming in that you also supposed to sell? Like, what is your general workflow like in that regard?
A little bit of both. I will say that I do like doing custom, and I don't like doing repeats, and I don't like doing sets of things.
Okay.
That's just me personally. But I do like having orders specifically, and I would rather do it that way because that's guaranteed money. At least for the most part. I'd say 1 in every 4, 1 in every 5 blades end up not getting paid for. But that's just the nature of, I don't know, this kind of job, I guess.
Right.
Like you make a blade for somebody and they're like, okay, thanks, I'll pay you on so-and-so date. You're like, all right, cool. I'll send you a reminder. And then you send them a reminder, and it's like, you can't reply to this conversation. Like, oh, thanks, bud.
Damn.
Thanks for making.
Do you take a deposit?
I have started recently. I tried to do, like the Scouts Honor kind of thing.
Right.
When I finish it, you pay me. Like, that's just kind of how it is.
Right.
And there's been a lot of, and I understand because a lot of people, it's been a rough year on everybody. And so I'm not angry about it. But when it comes to when I finish Blade and somebody's like, oh, I can't pay you until such and such date, it's like, okay, well, my electricity bill was due yesterday.
Right.
So we have a problem. If you can't pay for this, that's fine. I'm not mad at you, but I'm listing it for sale.
Right.
And that's another thing that's some of the ups and downs of business. Just because I make a blade and post it for sale, people are like, oh, you make knives all the time. Like, how do you not make tons of money? Like, just because I made the knife, if it wasn't in order and I post it for sale, there's no guarantee that thing is going to sell.
Right. For sure. Well, like my wife, she paints. She's an artist, and she's had actually more commission work this year than she has in a long time. But she's kind of found the same thing. Like, I can do it, but she takes a deposit up front. Like, you give me, 20%, whatever, and then that way it's a little more incentive for somebody not to fucking bail on the piece, unless they hate it, which is rare. But it's what I was getting to with that, other than the fact that I know what you mean, buddy. Is that I do look at what you do when you're making a custom piece or commission. I know, so you look at it as more like you're making tools, but it is an art in and of itself. Because you're having to take that vision and you're having to physically manifest it through your creativity, whatever you decide to put together. I said manifest, yes, God damn it, you got to fuck off.
I said manifest earlier.
What's that?
I said manifest earlier. What's the difference?
Because we don't judge our guests as harshly as we judge each other. That's why.
That's true.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. I'm all for you guys hitting each other. I'm trying to make you remember.
No, what I'm getting at is, I know you specifically said that you try to look at your things as more functional and more than art pieces, and kind of how you divide things in your own mind. But I don't know. I find fascinating because I'm not artistically inclined whatsoever. And so being able to visualize something and build it is fucking an impressive thing to me, because I have no skills in that arena whatsoever.
So that's it. One difference I say between you and I, because you don't really have much desire to even to get into some of that stuff much, do you?
I don't want to put the work, because I'm not naturally talented in it. And so for me to get good at any type of visual art, whether it be sculpting, painting, drawing, any of that, it would take me so much work to get even okay at it.
Gotcha.
Because I don't have the natural aptitude.
But do you enjoy just doing it just for the hell of it?
No.
See, and that's the thing. Like, I enjoy things.
See,
like
I
that.
don't, because I'm not good at it, and I judge it. I'm like, that fucking sucks. I'm not doing that shit. Whereas music, on the other hand, I enjoy it enough, and not that I feel like I'm amazing at it, but I at least have somewhat of a skill set there that I enjoy. So I don't know. I feel like
the same way with music, where as you do it, you learn little things here and there, little tricks, and where you messed up the time before.
Yeah, but I'm a savant, bitch.
Sure you are. Of course you are. No, I enjoy doing things like some woodworking, and I have no woodworking tools, but like I enjoy doing things like that. I would love to buy all the equipment and attempt to make a blade, but I don't spend money on myself, so I would never buy all the equipment to do
when
it.
my dad kills over and I get all that shit, you can have it.
I appreciate that.
Or I'll sell it to you. I'll sell it to you.
That's too late. You already said I can have it. We have evidence.
You can have it at a discount.
I got you.
Your dad's still gonna love hearing that statement. Like, he's just ready for me to die.
He thinks we're hilarious.
So he'll hear it today and forget it tomorrow. No, I enjoy doing that kind of working with your hands kind of stuff, and the it's just something about it. It is a stress reliever, in my opinion. Now, you do it as a job; it's completely different, thing to have to do it as a job, and where that's your livelihood. But yeah, I get kind of what you're saying, except I just enjoy doing it, even if it looks like shit.
I think if I would have started some of that younger, I would enjoy it more. Like music, I started when I was 16, and I was fucking shit up until I was about 30. Like, legitimately, no, I was not that good. But I started so young, I really enjoyed the process. Sure. But now it's like I'm 40 and trying to learn a new skill set that's creative. I'm like, nah, fuck that. It's a pain in the ass. I'd rather just complain and enjoy other people's shit. That's where I live.
This is why I enjoy, especially this kind of conversation, because both of what you guys are saying are completely valid arguments. Like, the whole point of being alive and being in America specifically is to do whatever the fuck makes you happy as long as it doesn't hurt anyone else, right?
Right.
So, like, you don't want to do it. I don't know which side I'm pointing to on your side of the screen, but Gray Shirt Guy doesn't want to do it because to him it's not fun. It's not enjoyable. It just doesn't make you happy. Like, at the end of, like, you get done with it and you look at the thing you made, and it's just not worth all of the to do it, right?
Right.
Whereas you, on the other hand, you enjoy doing it just because it's something to do. It's exciting. You're learning a new thing. Like, it's definitely, people go back and forth about it all the time, and I don't really understand why, because it really just plays into your personality, and whether you do or don't enjoy it just is based on you. You shouldn't tell other people they should or shouldn't enjoy a process. I know you guys are shitting on each other and it's just fun for you guys, but there's a lot of people that really get mad about it.
Yeah, for sure. And that's one thing. Like, we're both assholes in our own right, but we really don't get offended by anything.
No, I don't either.
Yeah. So
you can call me the worst name you can think of and be like, cool, thanks. Like,
yeah, right. Like, I've probably been called worse by someone that I like less than you. So it's totally fine.
I mean, you can call me the worst name on the planet. That's fine. Now you talk shit about my duck, we're gonna have a problem.
Yep. That's fair.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But by the way, this TenneKeela, the more we're drinking, the less I hate it.
Yeah.
Like, with the lime, it's not terrible.
It's like I said.
Every alcohol?
What?
Isn't that every alcohol?
No. No. That spoiled sake never got good, and the ouzo he brought in here never got good.
Ouzo was bad.
You can't like old wine. Like, that's not even alcohol anymore. Ugh.
No, I understand, but he brought some ouzo in one time, and it was terrible.
Yeah.
There's some stuff that doesn't. Fireball doesn't get better the more you drink it.
Yeah.
Well, Fireball was never good anyway.
Exactly.
I agree, but I'm just saying, like,
I have a big problem with people that like to call flavored whiskeys actually whiskey. I'm like, no, it's a liquor at this point in time, a liqueur. Like, fucking.
Or is it a flavored whiskey?
No, it's not a flavored whiskey.
Really?
No.
Why is it called flavored whiskey then?
Because it's marketing.
They want to call it whiskey with a fuck ton of sugar in it. That's why.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm just saying, to me, like, when you start flavoring whiskey, it becomes a flavored whiskey, not it. You can't.
So a whiskey, but a flavored whiskey.
Well, okay. Point being, you can say this is a flavored whiskey, but you can't say I love whiskey. Oh yeah.
No. I agree with that statement.
That's what I meant.
agree with that statement. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love whiskey. I drink whiskey all the time. What do you drink?
Fireball.
Jim Beam apple.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Yes.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. Do you watch TV shows? Because we're tangenting. Do you watch TV shows?
We're inventing words. That's what we're doing.
Oh no. Do you see?
Fuck Mike.
Do you want? Do you watch TV shows and see them drinking a whiskey in there and think, oh, they're drinking something nice? I did that earlier. My wife's watching Parenthood, and a guy was holding a bottle of Tullamore Dew, and he goes, oh, he's drinking something good.
Yeah. Well, if you ever watch Mad Men, which you have.
No,
if you know,
I never was a Mad Men
was
person.
So fucking good.
Yeah, I got you.
Anyway, in the background, like, they're pretty good about having everything period correct, like the time that they're in. But every now and then, I'm like, I don't think they had Jameson back in offices in the night. I could be wrong. I don't know the whole history.
I mean, according to Jameson, it's like 1800s or something like that.
In Ireland, I don't know how long they've been in the States, but occasionally it's like, I don't think they really drink that prevalently in that time period. But
maybe because they were all rich, they could get it.
Maybe those lucky bastards. Like, when I was in, I had an old chief, man, that was like, we were out taking a smoke break on the back, and he came out and he was like, if this was the old guard, you guys couldn't be out here taking smoke breaks. And I was like, well, God damn it, if this was the old guard, I'd be smoking at my fucking desk and wouldn't need a break.
Yeah, they like literally issue you beer.
Yeah, and cigarettes and shit, and that we could have the beards and all that stuff. It was a good time.
Yeah, and
I say we, like I was in at that point in time.
Right.
But okay, so we're at about an hour. We usually take a quick break here because I'm a dirty fucking smoker whore, and I'm usually craving a cigarette pretty bad. So we usually leave the stream running though and put up a pretty little we'll be right back screen. So if you're good with taking about 5-10 minutes, you good with that?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Well,
how dare you do something you want on your own podcast?
I'm letting you know how it goes, dude. Jesus Christ. Aaron was right. You're a fucking dick. No.
Oh yeah, sure.
Dude, Aaron speaks so highly of you. It's ridiculous. He probably would never tell you that to your face, but
no shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you should tell him that you heard how sweet he talks about you.
I can't believe that he's not been on here commenting tonight.
I don't know. Well, I told him that, but then I told him, hey, your boyfriend's on tomorrow. And he was like, I have a knowledge of a calendar and blah, 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 blah. You know how Aaron gets. And I was like, okay. And then tomorrow he'll be like, oh man, I completely fucking forgot.
That sounds like me. I get so like, you're not smart. Like, I'm smart. Don't tell me I'm not smart. And then I'll go trip over my own feet or something.
Yeah, exactly. I always tell Aaron, like, we'll be talking. I'm like, dude, you're such a pretentious fucking cunt. And he's like, yeah. But anyway, so yeah, we're going to take a quick break.
5 to 10 minutes.
5 to 10 minutes. So I can get my fucking dirty addiction down, and we'll be right back.
Sounds good.
All right. Hey, everybody. We'd like to take a minute to tell you about a really cool podcasting app called Stitcher Premium.
Yeah, Stitcher Premium is, like you said, a free app, and they've got everything you could look for: true crime, comedy, pop culture, The Office ladies. I think Conan O'Brien's podcast is on there. There's lots of things on there.
And archives of all those things.
Oh, yeah. And smart lists.
Yeah, the smart lists. That's what I was about to say, you fuck. Smart lists basically will watch what you're listening to, or say listen to what you're listening to,
right.
Use some fancy algorithms, and make recommendations on shit that you already like.
Yeah, so if you go to Stitcher.com/premium and use the code B3F, you can get a month free. So it's $4.99 a month, or $34.99 if you pay for a full year. But use the code B3F and you'll get a free month.
Check it out. Wait a message. I'm going to take it back. Hey, buddy.
Howdy.
Hey, what's up? That was a little longer than 10 minutes. We got to talking about some bullshit outside. So sorry to keep you waiting.
Oh no, I had beer to drink. How dare you?
You're the celebrity guest, man, and we're on your time.
Celebrity, please. I want to see the show. Name one person that's won Jeopardy.
So,
that really smart guy.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I can't remember his name now.
Was it
Alex Trebek.
I can't give you a last name on a lot of people, but I watch a lot of Jeopardy.
That's our producer back there. He's behind the camera, so you can't.
The producer.
No, that's what he's doing. I sent you a message before Steven decided to jump the gun and go live again. Nice.
Hey,
nice. You forgot to record.
We haven't had anything important so far.
I sent you a message just in case that you wanted to do that. So if you want to look at your message, go ahead and we can kill some time if you need to do that. Want to do that. If you have any interest in that at all.
Well, while he's looking at that, I didn't ask you, how was your fucking week, dude? We recorded last Wednesday, so it's been a longer span.
It has been a longer span. Yeah, it's pretty good. It was the days felt very long, and it's been a while since I've had that, but the week went by so fucking fast.
All right,
it's not been a bad week.
All right, back to Mike.
Back to Mike. No, he can wait.
I don't care about your week. I was just killing time.
Yeah, all of the 10 seconds it took me to read that message. But no, I understand. And that's one of the reasons I actually I hate this remote kind of interaction, because unlike you guys, I can sit there and shoot shit back and forth like immediately, but there's like a delay in time when I come through to you guys, and then in the quality of if you guys are talking and I try to talk too, it makes the bouncing back and forth thing very hard.
Yeah, sure.
Well, look at it. Looking at Mike on screen makes me hard. So
does it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'd love to get lost in that beard.
See, it puts a whole new meaning on, is that a banana in your pants?
Right. Because usually it is and it isn't.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, but anyway, as far as the message you sent of blades to show off, I've actually got a couple next to me, and I wasn't going to show them off if it didn't come up. But if something in the context of that kind of blade came up, then yeah, I'll grab it. But I don't want to be like, oh, look at me, you should buy my stuff.
Well, I want you.
You're a goddamn bladesmith, dude.
Yeah, I want
Christ.
you to be able, because the video side of things will get more of its views when the video comes out, is re-released on Wednesday, because I'll post it in some Forged in Fire forums and some bladesmithing things like that. And so I want people to see it. So if any, maybe it sends some business your way, maybe it doesn't. Maybe just put your name out there and you benefit somehow. I don't know, but I like seeing the work that bladesmiths do. So absolutely, if you've got something there you're exceptionally proud of, or if you got something there that looks like shit and you want to go, hey, don't do this when you're bladesmithing.
No, actually, I've only got one blade that is currently available, and it's downstairs, and I don't feel.
No, that's fine.
But I don't feel like going to get it. But as far as I'll grab this one. This one's already sold. but I did grab it because I did this as like a proof of concept. I've done this before, like a long time ago, and I did it all by hand. Forge welding and drawing stuff out by hand is a huge pain. It's very difficult, but I got a press recently, which makes bigger billets of steel literally no problem at all. So I just wanted to throw this together to see how big of a difference it would be and if it would be worth doing more things like this in the future. Turns out it is, but let me see if I can get the layers to show here.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So this is Damascus San Mai. I don't know if I can get it to where, yeah, you can kind of see the layers. The light, there's no backlighting, so it's hard to get the lighting
I can see it anyway. Yeah, it's
so I want to start doing a lot more stuff like that. I'm going for like a whole new business market. It's probably good that you got me right at this time, because it's in my transition from what I used to do into what I would like to move into. So it's really good to be able to talk about like my plans for the future and what I want to do and what to expect next from Seventh Dragon.
Gotcha.
Nice.
And Seventh Dragon is your company, your Bladesmith company, correct?
Yeah. So for whatever reason, in like 2012, 2013, somewhere in there, I just thought it would be cool to change my gamer tag to Seventh Dragon. And I ran.
Do we need to subtract 10 years off of that number as well? I just want to make sure.
No, in 2002, I would have been 12. So that's
okay. Well,
I
was 21 and had 3 kids.
Anyway, I just decided Seventh Dragon would be a cool gamer tag. And ever since then, everything I've put out has been under the banner of Seventh Dragon.
Nice.
Okay.
So yeah, so where you just said where are you wanting to go versus where you came from? You just said that. Maybe I missed something here and there, but
oh no, well, okay, so on my live updates, I don't want to like just like verbal diarrhea stuff at you guys. I want to keep the flow going, but
what
no,
flow? What flow have you picked up on so far in this podcast?
Well, like I said, the flow would work a lot better if there wasn't like this internet interruption, like because you guys can talk to each other and you guys can hear each other through your headphones. Where if I say something, it sounds jumbled in your headset. But as far as where I want to move,
hold on just 1 second. You say that, but comparatively to the last guests that we had on here, you sound fucking amazing. So I'm
right.
Continue.
Thank you. I guess.
Yeah.
Oh man, my Logitech whatever webcam that I bought 10 years ago is doing great. But as far as what I've been doing, I've been for a long time pandering to a low income market. There's a lot of people out there that they're like, hey, I really like you. I enjoy the videos you put out. I do a lot of Facebook Lives and stuff like that. And I want to support you. What do one of your knives cost? And when I tell them the stuff that I like to make, which is like $500 to $1,000 chef knives, they're like, wow, that's just really not in my budget, but I have to make money. So I've so far built my name on like just putting out things that people can afford, like maybe like a little Skinner knife. It's just $125 or something like that. Right. It's nothing special. It's not like it's going to, like I heat treat it all the same. So, it's going to cut well, but it's not going to be the fanciest thing on the planet. It's just going to be the thing you take out and you don't care if it gets stained up, which is great. But I want to start transitioning into higher dollar single knives as opposed to just putting out a bunch of, I hate to say garbage because it's not, it's totally usable, but low effort, just it is what it is kind of things. Like right. I just want to start producing things that I still want them to be used and I don't want them to be viewed as artwork and non-usable, but I do want to move into more things that people want to spend higher amounts of dollar on because it's worth it to them. They're going to appreciate that $1,200 chef knife that they bought, as opposed to if they bought an $80 knife and they're like, whatever, if this breaks, I'll just throw it in the trash can.
Right. Well, and I get that. Like I said, my wife is an artist and she's kind of the same thing outside of even just art is she's very altruistic. So she has certain things she wants to do that people usually can't afford, right?
Yeah, that's the
she struggles with that. There's as stupid as this. There's a new Weezer record out, and they have a song like "I Want to Be Rich, but I Feel Guilty."
Yeah,
and it's one of the lines off one of the songs, and she's that way. It's like she would love to get top dollar for a lot of the artwork that she makes, but she almost feels bad about it. And because she believes a lot of that shit should be accessible to everyone, not just the people with the money to pay for it. And it's something that she personally struggles with in a lot of those arenas. I mean, it can be a difficult transition to make. And not the saying that you're that altruistic. You might be a selfish dick. I don't know you that well, but
well, most people that know me would say that I'm not. Like if somebody needs help, I'll typically try to help them out.
Right.
I'm very forthcoming with the knowledge that I'm not saying that I'm the most knowledgeable bladesmith on the planet. I'm definitely not, but I try to. I'm starting to give up on it at this point. But I've for a long time, I've tried to, like, if I know something and somebody has a question, I'll answer the question to the best of my ability. And if not, I'll tag somebody that I know knows the answer. Like I try to keep the information flowing. But it seems like anymore, it's a bit of a battle. There's people who are like, no, that's not true. I'm like, whatever, I don't have time to deal with you. But as far as what you're saying, as far as what your wife does, yeah, I think that it's a very good idea. Like, I'm not going to stop making my entry-level stuff.
Right.
I just make less of it. I want to explore new avenues. I don't want to be stuck in this like factory of buck folding knives, my equivalent of that. That kind of stuff. So it is nice that my name is getting more out there, and I'm able to branch out and maybe, because like I said earlier, just because I make a knife doesn't mean it's going to sell. But I do want to get to a point where if I make a knife, it will sell because my blades are in high demand, and it takes a while to get there.
Yeah, for sure. Did winning like Forged in Fire, did that help that at all? Did it boost your business? Was it beneficial, or was it kind of I guess, where did it land on the positive negative scale? Like, was it a good thing? Did it have drawbacks? Like, where did that work out for you as a business owner and a knife maker?
It's super ironic that you asked that question right when you did, because I was literally going to bring that up as soon as I was done with my swig of beer. So that was perfect. But so after your episode of Forged in Fire, especially if you won, it's always a risk going on Forged in Fire, because, like, say if you go out first round, people are like, oh, that guy must be a shit maker, right?
He can be great.
That's never true.
Right.
And I got lucky when I won. All three of the people that I was up against were better than me. I just want to put that out there. They were, at the time, they were better knife makers than me. The only thing I would say I have over them now is my kitchen stuff. They're still better than me at everything else. So, I have no problem admitting that. And holy shit, it's Jason Fry. Do you know who Jason Fry is? Because holy shit, Jason Fry. God, okay? And he lost to me on the show, but he's a way better knife maker than I'll ever be. So it's a game show, people. It's just a game show. But as far as your question, after you win, you have like a week or two window to like where you're in the spotlight. And you have time to, everybody's looking at you, right? They're looking you up. Your name's the top one on Google or whatever. But I was working my last day job at the time, and I was working a lot of overtime. So I really wasn't getting knives done. I wasn't able to post things. I wasn't able to advertise myself. So yes, there is a window of opportunity where if you do use it, you will see increase in sales, and you'll see increases in popularity, more followers and views, and that kind of thing. But at the time, I had made the Facebook page 7th Dragon Knifeworks, but I didn't have anything to post. There was no activity, so people were looking for me, and there just wasn't content there. So I kind of just missed that grace period of when you really need to advertise yourself, because I was too busy
doing other shit.
Yeah.
All right.
What did you buy anything for your shop with the prize money you won?
I didn't. I was behind. Like when I went and did Forged in Fire, I didn't have the vacation time to cover it all, because for the first 2 rounds, it's basically like an entire week.
Right.
And then I came back and had to take a week off to prepare. Like there was a week between when I came home and when we started the home filming, which I did at my buddy Tom's. Mad props to Tom. I couldn't have done what I did without him letting me use his shop. But so there was a week in between when I got home and when we started the home filming, and I had to take that time off to prepare for the home filming. And then when the home filming started, that was a week-long thing. And then after that, I still had to take, I think it was like 4 days to fly out there and then do the final judgment. So like that was a lot of money I didn't make.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't at work, so they weren't going to pay me for not being there, right?
Right.
So it was a lot of time off. So when I finally did get back, I didn't have thank you, Troy. Yes, it is quite epic. And
don't praise him too much; he'll call in a minute and give us shit.
I don't know why so many people think a beard is so hard to maintain. You just don't shave, and it happens. That's it. That's all. That's all you gotta do.
Some of us don't grow beards like that.
I'm sorry, I'm a wizard. I can't help it.
Right. If Joey grew a beard, it would be disgusting.
My beard grows right off of that.
Yeah.
That's the extent of any beard that grows for me.
Yeah.
As far as any length goes.
Yeah.
As far as what I did with the prize money, it was literally just getting caught up and paying stuff off. It wasn't like I didn't get to upgrade anything because I was a little bit behind from taking all that time off.
Yeah. Because really, like, honestly, I was actually talking to Gabe about this a little bit ago that, like, 10 grand, it's a lot of money. I would love to have 10 grand, but it's also not a lot of money. Like,
it's not life changing, no.
No.
I would say $10,000 used correctly would be life changing, but you have to know how to use it. Also, you could realize they're taking $4,000 in taxes out of that.
Right.
So sure, they're handing you a $10,000 check when you file your taxes.
You answered the question that I had for you, which was $10,000. Once the government takes their cut of it, what does it end up being? But
about $6,000.
About $6,000. Yep. There you go.
Yeah.
That's insane to me.
Yeah. That's like 40% of what you're being paid. Like how can they justify that? Like, I'm not like a taxation is theft kind of guy. I understand that the government needs tax to run.
Yeah, it is
slams, man.
It not only looks like pubes, but it feels like pubes, and I
also
don't think pubes
it also
is spelled
tastes like pubes.
I think there's supposed to be an
why do you know what it tastes like?
You don't know, man.
Not even like making out, literally just like on his chin. Like,
that's it.
Yeah.
How do you deal with your friends?
Fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not
knives. We have to lick each other's beers.
I sucked your dick one time and you don't let me live it down. Jesus Christ.
Be better.
I didn't
even come, bro.
Yeah, you're right. You didn't.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not like a taxation is theft kind of guy.
I get it.
I know the government needs money to run and stuff, but I think the amount that they tax us is a little ridiculous.
Right.
And by a little, I mean like a lot.
Yeah. I think it's funny. And granted, I'm not the most intelligent person, as we've established on more than one occasion.
Sure.
But I always find it funny that you fucking pay taxes out of every goddamn paycheck. Then you still have to file taxes at the end of every year because it's like, you might not have given us enough. We need to double check to see if you've given us everything you should give us.
Well, I was talking with someone earlier who said, I'm only getting $14 back on my tax return this year. And I was like, you actually are doing very well, because that means you didn't give the government a free loan all year.
Right.
Because they don't have to give you that back. They could, whoever the president is could just go, I would just assume that they not give me anything back and I don't have to deal with filing taxes every year. For me, if I have to pay taxes in, there should be like another lane on the interstate that I get to drive in. If I have to pay more money in, I should get to drive in an extra lane on the interstate.
I've always thought there should be a checkbox at the end of every year that you say, hey, I want my taxes to go to this, I want it to go to this, and I want it to go to this. And you could choose where you want, because I don't mind paying taxes, but I don't like where all of them go.
Sure, I get that.
That's awesome. I agree with all of that. That's wonderful. You guys are fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's do a show about it.
Yeah, why don't you tell our wives? That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
we both appreciate that very much.
What am I telling your wives now?
That we're fun.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll do that. Sure.
I like how he's rolling there, man, with that bottle. I know. That's beautiful.
What brand is that?
New Amsterdam.
And it's tequila or is it vodka?
Vodka.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I'm drinking tequila, I love me some Camarena Silver.
Okay.
Never had that. We'll have to try that sometime.
I need to. He's hold on. I got to pour some because he's holding his up.
No. So while you're pouring it, dead time is bad. So Camarena Silver, I drink it. There's a lot of people that shit on it. I was like, why would you drink a $20 bottle of silver tequila? Like, I have had bottles of tequila that are upwards of $200 per bottle. Like, I went to tastings and samplings, and I've had the really expensive ones. And in my opinion, there are two tequilas that are cheap that still are better than those $200 bottles. One is Camarena Silver, and one is this brand. I want to say it's Maker's Mark or something. But there's a brand of tequila from Sam's Club that's really cheap. I mean,
it's Sam's Choice tequila, man. What are you talking about?
I mean, I know. Yeah, see, I know it sounds stupid to say, and people are like, "What? You're dumb. Why would you drink cheap tequila?" These 2 bottles of tequila, to me, outperform very expensive tequilas.
Nice. Yeah. Well,
cheers.
Cheers, bros.
So all this shit aside, and I wanted to say this just because I felt like it, but not to keep bringing Aaron's boring ass into this shit.
Oh my God.
Aaron's gonna love all these shout outs, by the way.
I know, right? But no, he told me, and I want to tell you this just because I don't know how much you guys talk anymore, but he told me specifically that you are one of the most intelligent dudes he's ever known.
What, really?
Yeah.
I mean, thanks, Aaron, but
and he's pretending.
I don't know what conversation we had that made him think I was smart.
I don't know. No, because Aaron is a stupid, smart motherfucker. He really is. He's a very smart
You could have just stopped at stupid.
I'm not saying he's entertaining. I'm saying he's smart. So there's a big difference in the two.
No, he's a smart guy for sure.
All of you fucking, because you were a nuke guy, right? Like a sub nuke?
No, I was supposed to be a Nav ET and I got medically disqualified. So I never actually got to go on a sub. Yeah, I'm just a faux sub guy.
Yeah, I was an ET as well. Twidget is what they called us when we were in.
I think they had a nickname for us, but that's been over 10 years ago. I don't remember exactly what Aaron could probably tell you because he was in the same. Maybe he was a FT. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
You'd have to ask Aaron. But yeah, he's a pretty smart guy. The limited interaction that me and him did have, I wouldn't say we were like, best buds or anything, but we were in the same class for a while, so we hung out, I guess. But yeah, he
speaks highly of you anyway. We'll put it that way.
He's what?
He speaks highly of you anyway.
Oh, I was just saying that he seems like a pretty intelligent guy.
Yeah, no, he's an asshole.
Well, aren't we all?
Yes, absolutely.
We were in the military. Of course we're an asshole. That's what they teach you to do.
Right? Oh, my God. And that's what I always tell people, like, being in the military, like, I've never been one, like, I'm a veteran and I'm proud of being a veteran. But the older I get, the more I appreciate my time that I was in, honestly. I was 25 when I fucking went in. So I was like the old guy through boot camp and shit like that. And
you were grandpa.
Yeah. So I've never been like, unless it's benefited me, I never even fucking talk about being a veteran unless I'm going to get a discount or some shit like that. But, there is this weird thing, like the older I've gotten and talking to a lot of other military dudes, it's like this weird thing that kind of hangs on. Like, yeah, we all experience some of this bullshit, and I might give you shit for being a goddamn squid or whatever the fuck it is, but like at the end of the day, there's like this weird homoerotic bond that we all share from our time.
No, that's totally accurate. I've said for a long time, because everybody like if you're in the Army, of course you say the Army is the best branch, right? And then you shit on all the other branches, and everybody's like, why do the branches talk shit about each other? Because we don't have anything else to do. That's it.
Exactly.
We to mop the floor every day. What are we going to do? We're going to shit talk the Marines. That's what we're going to do. Because fuck them. Because they're the Marines. That's it. There's no actual rivalry. We're just they taught us to be assholes, so we're being assholes.
In all fairness, fuck the Marines, but
Oh, yeah, for sure.
To bring it full circle, like when Forge and Fire did the Battle of the Branches,
they didn't have the goddamn Coast Guard in it.
They did not have the Coast Guard in it, no. But it was so funny to hear the other ones talk about it because one guy said, well, I don't see any chairs in here, so the chair force isn't going to be in or something like that. It's funny to me. I mean, it's.
I feel like if they'd have had the Coast Guard on there, it would have just been disappointing for everyone.
Yeah.
Tom Kinder was on. He's a coasting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, you're not going to. You will totally believe this because I'm going to play this. But the guy that I bought my press from, I bought it secondhand, was Mike Andracchio, the I believe it was Air Force champion of that tournament.
You're right. I don't fucking believe it.
There's more.
Who that is.
Okay, so shifting gears just a little bit. You have a giant goddamn wall of guitars behind you. You mentioned earlier, so I'm assuming you play.
I used to, yeah. When I was 16, I could set a guitar on fire playing it, man. But that's been half my life ago, When I went to the Navy, one of my big things was getting my guitar on bass. And when I got it, it was like my life was it came back to me. You know, I was able to play music again. And then I ended up getting married, and she would get mad at me if I played guitar because she was like, well, why are you doing that when you can spend time with me? So I kind of like ever since then, I kind of put it down, and I bought a couple of guitars recently to try to maybe get myself back into it.
Right.
But where I'm at in my knife career right now, the time it would take to sit down and take the training wheels off, for lack of better terms, advancing my knife career is more beneficial than getting back into guitar playing. But I will say I am very proud to own this particular Ibanez Steel Series. I think it is a very beautiful guitar. It's got
nice.
Yeah, it's got the Floyd Rose tremolo system.
Mm-hmm.
The place where I got it, they go down to Tennessee and
is that 4 fucking humbuckers on that bitch?
Well, it's 2 humbuckers and 1 single, I guess.
Oh, I missed it. Okay, but the reflection looked like 4 humbuckers. Yeah. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, this right here, this is the Floyd Rose tremolo system. So it doesn't just dip; it goes like you can make it go higher. Also,
yeah, that's a real guitar guy because he knows it by name, the Floyd Rose. Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, there's other systems that are similar, but that one in particular just happens to be a Floyd Rose tremolo system.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, honestly, it's probably the best of the bunch, but
it is its place.
Yeah. Well, we're both, like, we've talked about this before, failed musicians in a sense. We've played in several bands together growing up. We've known each other.
Yourself, I didn't fail, but our lead singer quit.
Yeah, that was me. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I played full time for a brief period of time, but I wasn't good at not doing drugs and making shitty decisions, and so I had to work a grown up job again. And yeah, but like talking about being married, I think it's funny. I always joke that it's like a staple of being a military person. You have to have at least one ex-wife in the bag. Like I'm on my 3rd marriage, so it works out over the long run.
Have you seen you're familiar with My Little Pony? I at least assume.
Yeah, I'm no brony, sir, but yes.
All right, so there's a meme that just so happens to be in the it's animated with My Little Pony characters. But it's basically, the age-old adage, if the military wanted you to have a wife, they'd issue you one, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you're familiar with that. So there's this little picture. If you Google My Little Pony wife or military wife, it'll probably bring the image right up.
Like a dangerous search.
Yes, it does.
You're not wrong. But it brings up this little thing that's like, they look like Marine outfits. I won't say they are because I don't know. It's camo and it looks Marine-ish to me. But it's like, if the military wanted you to have a wife, they'd issue you one. And the other pony's like, could you imagine like military issued wives? And the guy's like, what? What the fuck? And he's like, okay, so, well, it is the Marines. Because he's like, so we're the Marines. So these are obviously discarded Army wives that they're just issuing. Like, this is my wife. There are many like it. Like, big spiel about how it's like cake-powered heavy artillery or something like that. Like it's hilarious. If you just give it a Google, I'm sure you can find it, and it's actually a very funny little comic. At the end of it, the higher ranking guy is like, "You need to go to you need to go to psych or something." Like,
That's amazing. So it's funny. Along those lines, like, because my second wife I met her in the military. She was another, and they always said don't dip your dick in blue because
Sure.
I made that mistake and it was a terrible decision in the long run. But I had kids with the bitch, so now we're stuck together at least until they're 18. But my third wife now is very understanding and a very patient woman, and she actually likes me, so it's worked out so far. We're at 8 years now, so. Yeah.
8 years.
Yeah, 8 years, right? So
Wow.
it's more than my first 2 combined.
Wow.
We're setting records in this bitch.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
I think my current relationship has almost lasted longer than my marriage.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a lot of math, and I'm too drunk to do math right now.
So I noticed you're drinking Keystone.
Oh, Keystone Ice is like, I've actually tried to get sponsored by them because I drink this. Like, it pissed me off when like the whole COVID shutdown happened. Like, I work from home. I don't really leave a lot anyway. So people are like, stay home. I'm like, I already do that. Joke's on you, bitch. But everyone everywhere just stopped carrying Keystone Ice. And I was so upset about it.
Really, that's very odd. Just stop.
You are literally the only person I know that drinks Keystone.
Well, I know a lot of people that I've got hooked on it personally. Of the cheap, shitty beers, it's the best one. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's fair.
If you drink Bud Light or Budweiser, I don't know. I don't value your opinion, so you should.
What are you drinking?
Bush Light.
Bush Light. All right.
Okay. At least it's not. At least it's not Budweiser. Okay, I'll give you that.
That's fair.
It's more respectable than Budweiser.
I always found that the whole resurgence of PBR with the hipster crowd being so expensive is crazy to me, because I remember growing up, my grandfather always drank PBR, but this was back in the fucking 90s.
Yeah.
You know, it's very fucking weird to see it.
It's like, not good.
No.
Hey, PBR ain't bad.
I didn't say it's bad. I said it's not good.
Now, see, my grandfather always drank it. He put salt in it, and he called it panther piss with the foam farted off. That's what he always fucking called it. I don't know why, but he always drank that shit.
There's something racist in there somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure. He was a very, very racist guy. He was a Navy guy. But he was...
Don't lump me in with that.
But he was like, he went in at 15. And he faked his fucking his fucking paperwork and went in, because they had no computers then to reference that shit. He also stayed in the reserves and went back on some patrol as an E6, even though he was still a fucking 5, and he changed his fucking paperwork and went in, and just so he could have better berthing while he was on the boat.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But he also hated anyone of color. It didn't matter what, if you're black, Asian.
He just had a really good tan.
Yeah, he did. It didn't matter. He was a very
God forbid you go to the beach before you spend a weekend with him.
Right. Yeah. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Right. So to try to bring this back in, to try to mesh the
three middle-aged white guys talking about racism. This should
so Mike, tell us which races you don't like that much.
Right. Which races tend to pay for the knives they order? No.
No, they don't, actually.
So, have you ever considered, or have you done it, or ever considered making any guitar accessories or anything? Because I just immediately I think Damascus steel pickguard is my first thought. I mean, have you ever considered any of that? I mean, you love the guitars, and even though you don't play them that often, but bladesmithing, I would think that there's maybe an untapped market out there somewhere.
I would agree, and that's a good market for somebody to take. But there's this this chick named Tora. She's a business. She tells business how to do better business. So however that works, like, she's really smart, right? And me and her talk about a lot of stuff all the time. And she keeps being like, well, why don't you do this? You have the tools. You could do this. 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 I'm like, okay, but you have to realize that's a lot of thises. So yeah, I guess that's something I could do. But I already, like, I'm trying to stop doing so many things and do a little bit of focusing. So yeah, that's probably a market I could tap into. But then that's also, okay, so if I'm going to do that, I have to get stainless that I can fold together, because if you're doing a pick guard and you're touching it all the time, it's gonna rust, because your hand oils and stuff like that. So I'm trying to consolidate the amount of things I do. And if I do one-offs, like I did a cutting board recently, I also did a very dyed and stabilized burl magnet rack. So it looks really pretty green and blue, and you just stick your knife on it and it stays there because it's magnetic. Like, I'll do one-offs of those kind of things, but it's usually not for sale, because I don't want someone to be like, hey, now you're the magnet rack guy.
Sure.
Right.
I expect that from you. Like, no, I want to stop doing so many, just like I don't want to I want to stop doing so many cheap knives and start focusing on higher end knives, just because I guess it's just more rewarding at the end.
Yeah.
So yes, that is an untapped market that somebody somewhere could surely get into, but I personally just don't have interest in.
Sure. Have you ever considered getting an apprentice that can do the cost-effective knives, where you can then more focus on the high-end stuff?
So I actually put out a listing for an assistant, and I did have an assistant for a while, and she was great. She did a great job at what she did, and she was very inventive. She came up with things that I never would have. But she got a different job that I assume was higher paying, and she hasn't been back since. So I'm very happy for her. I'm glad she's, making more money. But it's very hard to find what I would consider good work these days, because I'm paying. I hate that this is recorded because people are gonna look at it, but I pay under the table. I'm like, here's a flat amount. They're not paying taxes on it or anything like that. Like, just here I'm paying you $10 an hour for you to come and literally just make whatever the hell you think would be profitable. Because I have the ability to have the risk of, if something does or doesn't sell, it doesn't matter to me. But like maybe somebody else who just needs the $10 an hour, they can just come and be inventive and be creative, and that's basically it. They can come be inventive and creative, and whether it sells or not, they're still getting their money, and right. I can take that hit because of what I do, but they're still getting their $10 an hour. Right. But still, even for the $10 an hour, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I'll come work for you, but you have to show me what you do. It's like, no, I'm paying you to do these other side things. I'm not paying you to learn what I do. Why would I pay you to literally be my competition? Right. Like I'll teach classes. If somebody pays for a class, I will straight up teach you. No problem. But if I'm paying you, I'm not going to give you a free class that you should pay for.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, okay, along those lines, what would you charge for a class? Like if somebody wanted to come baseline, like learn the art, like what would your range be? Or would you even consider that?
Oh, no, I do classes for sure.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I do different ranks of classes. Like for you guys, if you guys wanted to come take a class, because you said you didn't live very far, I typically charge $150 a day plus materials, which is very low compared to most people. But also, like I show people how to make a knife by making a knife, and you just kind of follow my process. So by the end of it, I do have a knife to sell. So it's not that big of a deal to me, and I get to hang out and bullshit with people. Like when
I will pay you.
That's
to come
exactly
and
what I was
learn how
going to
to make
say.
a knife.
Do you care if we film it?
I would pay you to film it.
Okay.
I will pay you to teach me, and I will film it for free. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
How about I give you the classes for free, and you film it and do a YouTube video for free?
Okay,
that's absolute. All right. So when we're through with this episode, we need to keep you on for a little while so we can talk about this, because I'll absolutely do it. The three of us sitting here will go up because we have a video production pro here. We have two people that are interested in doing this. So we'll talk when this episode is over.
I've literally I've been looking at classes in the Knoxville area just to learn a skill set that I don't have.
Yeah. What are you going to charge me?
Who hates to do that?
What are you going to charge me to buy the knife that we make?
Oh no, you take home the knife you make.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you said you have a knife to sell.
How much would you charge us to like put our face in your beard and just?
Oh no, that's free.
Oh, sweet.
He's like Jimmy John's over there. Free smells.
I fucking love Jimmy John's. Hell yeah. What's that? The midnight something? Basically the Italian with like some mayonnaise or some shit?
I don't know. I have no clue.
Jimmy John's, if you don't know Jimmy John's, man.
My brother used to work for Jimmy John's.
All right, well, get your brother on the line. He knows.
Your brother's also an asshole. His brother will not come on this podcast. We've tried many times.
Yeah, no, it's just the way it is.
I'm still mad because I'll make fun of him and his shitty fucking alcohol choices is what
it's.
You have a guy on that's drinking Keystone Ice. Are you kidding me?
Sure, yeah, but you're pretty.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. Oh God.
So let me ask this, because this is more of, I don't know who's going to watch this podcast. Probably no one, maybe. But so do you have a preferred steel or combination of metals that you like?
That was my next question as well.
I just want to take a second to really laugh at you guys.
Why?
I wish I could be in the studio with you guys. That would make this so much better. This would flow so much better.
I found this. I don't know if you want it.
Yes, please. Thanks. I'll put it in my pocket.
I'll tell you what. If we come and do a class, we'll bring equipment. We'll record another episode with you, all in the same room as well.
I would love all of that.
I fully accepted the fact that I am a fucking idiot, so I'm excited to see what you're gonna say to make me feel like a dick.
Well, you're in good company because I'm also stupid. So, to your question. Yes, I have certain steels that I prefer for certain things. And it really just depends on what it's going to be used for. Cheers, sirs. So my two favorite steels that I use are 1095 and 80 CRV2. And I use them specifically because if I'm doing, like, a lot of people ask me questions, and if I'm going to answer them, I want to answer them in the best and or most cost-effective way possible. To me, 1095 and 15, or not 15 and 20, 80 CRV2 are the most cost-effective steels for most things. 80 CRV2 is more of like a, I'm sure you guys have heard of 5160.
Yep.
Yes.
It's 5160, but literally better in every way entirely possible. If you buy 5160, which is usually more expensive than 80 CRV2, just buy 80 CRV2. It's better in every possible way. So if you want to go and beat the shit out of a knife in your backyard, just use that.
It's essentially the difference between me and Joey.
Right.
Right.
Which one are you?
Which one's
I don't know.
5160?
One of us is better in every way.
Okay, who's 5160? I gotta know. You can fuck all the way off because you're 5160. But
bye, Felicia.
I'm trying to make him leave, remember? Like, I'm trying to offend him. Oh, it's so cute. Anyway, so for that kind of thing, I prefer 80 CRV2. And 1095 I prefer because I like doing Hamones, like I showed you guys earlier. For anyone that might be watching, I'm assuming this is going to be posted later, so you can.
Well, yes.
Yeah, so they can go back and they can see what a Hamone is and the description and all that. But yeah, so I prefer 1095, especially for my kitchen stuff, because even though it's not the best kitchen knife steel on the planet, it's not bad by any means. It's just not the best kitchen knife steel on the planet. But I buy it because for the price, you're getting the best. This is just my opinion. In my opinion, you're getting the best price for performance when you're buying 1095 for a kitchen knife.
Yeah. Okay.
So yes, I do have preference on steel, and that's why.
Then why were you laughing at me, you fucking asshole?
Because 5160, and that's hilarious.
Do you like making Damascus blades?
Because that's the big focus.
It's a big
anything. Well, guys, it's fucking Damascus,
right?
So you know.
So here's something I'm glad you brought that up, because this is something I'm really passionate about. There's a big movement on both sides of you should use recycled steels because it's cool to use recycled steels. I love that used to be a file and now it's a knife. There's also a push on the other side to be like, no, use known steels because you know exactly how to heat treat them. And I try to be a middle ground between the two. That knife that I showed you earlier that had the Damascus patterning on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I am very happy with that because it was a kind of like I said earlier, it was a proof of concept just to see how easy it would be to make. But that's not known steel. Like, what I used was, one of my favorite things to do is fold together, well, not fold, I guess layer together coil spring and rebar.
Hey, I was going to ask about that. I watched the video that you just posted about using rebar and other steel on your shit. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
Nice. No.
You're so 1095, you asshole.
We're gonna have to do this again because this is a great time.
You might get to see us fight.
Oh, cool! Like I said, I'll come to that fight. I'm not paying for the feeding tube afterwards again, but
no, it'll just end up with both of us coming.
It'll be 60 seconds of haymakers followed by 5 minutes of
and then you guys just do shots at the end and walk away.
Right.
Sure.
Or watch each other masturbate. I don't know which, but one of the two.
That's why we're breathing hard.
I'm gonna fast forward through that part.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so skiing, yeah, it's just me in the middle, like. Anyway, so why'd you have to ruin it like that? I had a good point.
I ruined goddamn nothing. You know this is a great podcast.
I'm calling you Aaron from now on.
Oh god,
I will fucking break up with you, sir.
He doesn't like 1095 anyway.
I don't like Aaron.
Oh, well, there you go.
Anyway.
Okay.
One of the things I would like to focus on as far as my the YouTube videos I would like to put out is using nothing but recycled steel, because I want everybody to feel included. There's stuff you can make that's really cool. That you don't have to pay for steel. As soon as people find out that you're a blacksmith, they will literally be like, I have like 8 pounds of leaf springs. You want them? That 8 pounds is small. I literally have like a 200-pound leaf spring pack in the garage.
Nice.
Yeah, and people just give that to me. And as soon as they find out that you are a bladesmith, like they just give you things, whether it's useful or well, it's all useful in some manner or another, as long as you know about what it is and how to use it. So that knife that I showed you earlier that had the layering, that was coil spring and rebar folded together, which etches very differently. Basically, like 1084 and 15 and 20. Like you have a better guarantee with 1084 and 15 and 20, but if you fold together coil spring and rebar and you don't use that as an edge steel, but if you use it for your jackets as your san mai, and then you use a really good core steel, like that's something that literally everybody can do. Like you might not have the best equipment. You could do all this by hand. I have before, and it'll take forever. But I just want to encourage people that buying known steel will always be better, but that doesn't mean that you have to buy known steel to do something really cool. I really want to push that, and I really want that to be the heart and soul of the videos and the content that I put out in the future.
Huh. All right.
Yeah, I know it's kind of one of those things where you guys are like, yeah, sure, dude, because you guys don't understand advanced metal.
I get some of it.
Thank you. For all you know, I might be a fucking expert in that shit.
You got your PhD handy?
Yeah.
Yeah, go get it. Is it that guitar on the wall behind you?
That's my bass guitar.
All right, so his degree that's on the wall over there.
Oh man, a little alcohol. Now the dickhead's coming out. It's awesome.
Oh, wait. Was I supposed to bring it from the beginning?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh hell, let's do shots about it.
So you make your own hot sauce, right?
Yes, sir.
So
I didn't know that.
Where did that start?
I didn't pay any attention to any of the episodes I've watched then.
No, the hot sauce that I put on the banana in my episode was my own Carolina Reaper sauce.
Yep.
There was a lot of people who are like, oh yeah, what did you just dump sriracha on there? No, that sauce that I made was Carolina Reapers and apple cider vinegar, just enough to liquefy it. That is all that was in it.
Man.
Well, he says that now. There's no way to prove it.
Well, you're right.
Right.
I'll send you a bottle.
I mean, I won't use it, but
no,
sure.
If you send us a bottle, we will do it on here.
Fuck. All right.
Okay, so when you guys come up to take a class, how about in that podcast or whatever, that's when we'll try it.
Done.
I'm agreeing to a lot of things that I'm not happy with.
And I will say this now. I am a super big bitch when it comes to hot stuff, but I will straight up.
Be a great time.
Yeah, I'm in. 100% in, good sir.
Perfect.
Yeah, because I'm a little sissy, but I will do almost anything on a dare.
I love spicy stuff, but if I'm in
you
pain,
love it.
I love it. The spiciness.
Spicy meatball.
Thank you. I wasn't going to say that, but thank you. No, I love. But if I'm hurting, my lips are turning purple. It doesn't. It takes the enjoyment out of eating whatever.
I will
it is.
put money. I can eat more than you.
I will put money that you will eat more than me.
Yeah.
Not that you can't. You'll just continue to do it until I'm done.
I feel like I legitimately hate myself more than you do.
You think so?
We both hate ourselves a lot, but I think I hate myself more.
I think I hate you more than I hate me. And I will keep going just so you keep going, just to make you be in that much more pain.
That's fair.
I'm so excited for this. This is going to be wonderful.
No, I will take a little last dab of it, and that's the end of it.
And
I just don't want to hurt from it. That's
and I'm not saying this talking shit. We will absolutely don't bite off more than you can chew, because we will absolutely come and take a class and eat your fucking stupid hot sauce.
Absolutely come. That's what she said.
Yeah.
Not to me, she didn't, but yeah.
I'm just saying, you're saying this, but we will show up one day and be like, hey, what's happening? Where's our class? Let's do this.
Schedule it. I'm totally down. I'm caught up on most of my orders, and one of the problems with the whole COVID thing was between sorry, I keep playing with my mustache. It just kind of itches. But
dude, I'd play with your mustache if I was there. It's fine.
Yeah. So anyway, between the middle of November and the middle of January, like, shipping was a problem, right? So I'm still getting caught up from that lack of materials, but I'm kind of at a point where like I'm good now. So anytime in the near future that you guys do want to come up, like let's say within a month or so, like I'm open.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I will text you after this and we'll figure out some shit.
Cool. I will continue to confuse you with the other podcast.
That's fair, because that's how much we mean to him. Just so you know,
right? Or sleep till right before he'll be asleep until we're knocking on his door, and he'll be like, "I'm sorry, I was up till 8:30 last night."
That's perfect. Wake me up, man. Hell yeah! I'm still drunk, and I'll teach you guys. I don't care.
Because even super shitty drunk, he is better than us at everything.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
I wouldn't say everything.
Well, everything that we'd be there to learn.
Okay, well, not marriage. You're not better than us at marriage.
Well,
not better than me.
I'm not better than him at marriage, or you.
Right.
I mean, statistically speaking.
Sure.
Shrug.
How did you get into the hot sauce making thing? Do you sell your hot sauce? That I don't know.
So I do sell my hot sauce, but I don't have it available right now.
Okay.
Next year is going to be very big, ideally. Last year was supposed to be big, but for whatever reason, I planted like 150 Carolina Reaper, or I didn't plant them. I started like 150 Carolina Reaper seeds, and they all like literally popped up like in masses. Like not every seed germinates. That's normal. It's usually like 75, somewhere between 50 and 75%. But still, that's a big amount. What?
It's just like Steven's marriages.
Oh yeah. They just don't work.
All right, go ahead. Your Carolina Reapers.
No, it's hilarious. I love the back and forth shit. But yeah, so they, for whatever reason, a bunch of them came up, and then even farmers around here, for whatever reason, a lot of their crops died too. And they didn't really know why. So it was just kind of a thing. But so if this year goes like last year was supposed to, I'll basically have production amounts of peppers to make actual sauces. So it will be a much bigger thing, and it will be better marketed.
I've never had a Carolina Reaper.
I don't want a Carolina Reaper.
I've had them. You don't want to do it.
No.
Okay.
Don't. Just spare yourself.
That's fair. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos.
Oh, yeah.
And every time I watch them, I'm like, I'd cry like that.
Yeah.
But if I can get attention from it, I'll absolutely do it.
No, thanks.
Yeah. I'm a shameless attention whore for all things. Like, I'm okay with that.
To be fair, I am too. Like, my business kind of depends on it. Like, wow, you're really conceited. It's like, no, I just need people to look at me because that's how I make money.
Right.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's kind of the way we have to be as well.
I had a decent childhood. Like, my parents didn't neglect me, but I still have this need for like strangers' approval.
Right. I think we established last week that there was some psychological abuse that went on at my mom's house.
Oh yeah, for sure. You're super more fucked up than me.
Oh well.
I'm just a soulless fucking asshole.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't remember which one of you it was that I messaged, but there was a particular story.
You're treating us both like your fucking side hose, you asshole.
Oh, I mean, are you not?
No, we are.
Okay, cool. Sweet. I'll call you later, baby. No, so I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a particular story that I said, hey, bring this up and you won't regret it.
The Goldberg story.
Yeah,
that was me.
It wasn't me, yeah.
Okay, well, being as we're coming up on we're past the 2-hour mark, that is quite the story that I think you guys enjoy.
Go ahead. Tell us the Goldberg story.
He says forcibly.
No, I want to hear it. I know the clock you're looking at says 2 hours and 6 minutes, but you got to take the break out of it. So,
oh, the whole 10 minutes. Oh man.
Hey, you got plenty of time.
I like to say forcibly.
Forceful.
All right. So, the reason I brought up the Goldberg story, I was not only on Forged in Fire, I was also on Knife or Death, which was a show. What, you didn't know this?
I didn't know
that.
this.
I'm gonna have to go find that now and watch it.
Knife or Death is the most ridiculous, amazing show I've ever watched.
Oh, you've seen it?
Yeah.
Just not my episode, apparently.
Episode.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a little offended, but that's all right.
That's fine.
No, I'm kidding. But So you're familiar with the premise then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm actually really good friends with the season 1 Knife or Death grand champion, Michael Allenson. Me and him are like we're big buddies. But anyway, so they decided they were going to do a season 2, and they were like, which is weird because this was before my episode of Forged in Fire even aired. So they sent me an email and they're like, "Hey, congrats on winning Forged in Fire. Do you want to come do our TV show?" And I was like, "How do you know that? And is this legal to talk about?" Like, through the NDA, right? I love when someone's so enamored of my story that they play on their phone.
My wife just texted me, God damn it, you fucking asshole.
Hey, you asked me to bring full asshole. Asshole?
It was Aaron texting me, actually.
You said your wife.
Well, she texted me, and then Aaron just texted me as well.
Is your wife Aaron?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I told my wife I was going to have to wait here a little bit because I've had a little too much to drive home. And then Aaron texted me and he was like, "My fucking internet's not working, you fucking cock." Because I told him
like it's your fault that his internet's not working.
Anyways, continue.
Yeah, this is a fake person. He actually went to Aaron's house and sabotaged his internet just to fuck him over.
Sure.
But yeah, so Knife or Death, for those that aren't familiar, instead of like Forged in Fire, you go there and you make a blade. Whereas Knife or Death, you make a blade at home and you take it, and it's kind of like American Ninja Warrior. Aaron says yes.
That's all he said.
But anyway,
so all he said when he called into us.
Let him finish his goddamn story.
No, I just wanted to make a point that apparently Aaron wants to be my waifu. But so yeah, so the premise of Knife or Death is you make a blade at home and you go there, and it's basically American Ninja Warrior, and you run through a course and you just wreck stuff with whatever blade you bring, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What did you bring?
A glorified machete.
Okay.
Because that's. But when they told me, they're like, "Yes, you're okay to go. Here's your flight time." And I was like, by the time the steel that I would order to make the blade comes in, that's going to give me 3 days to make a blade, right? And they're like, "Yeah." Like, okay. So I threw together what was a glorified machete in like 3 or 2 days. I did the best I could. Just go watch it, and because they test your blade before you go through the course just to make sure it's up to par. And you can even watch Travis Wertz be like, "So what is this thing?" I'm like, "It's what I had time to make. It's just a glorified machete. It is what it is." And he's like, "LOL, I'm going to test it." And he tested it, and he's like, "Here you go. It's cool." So, all right, now that's out of the way. So, if you make it to the end of your episode and you're the champion of your episode, Goldberg and the other is Tu Lam, I think is his name. Yep. So Goldberg and Tu and Travis Wertz, they walk up to you and they give you a congratulations speech, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So they I made it through the first round and went on to the final thing, and me and Shane, who we became big buddies, by the way. Me and Shane went on to the finals and we competed, and I ended up winning, which he was actually kind of happy about. He doesn't like being in the spotlight. He just wanted to go to see if he could do it, which is great. And Shane's a great guy. He's a wonderful dude.
Yeah, I oftentimes go on TV shows and I don't like being in the spotlight.
# name drop.
Right.
I don't really know what to say to that. He wanted to do it because he wanted to know that he could do it.
I get you.
Which is good. I think that's healthy. He wanted to go on there and prove that, like I do this martial art. I want to prove that, that it works. And he did. And he did a great job. He made it to the final. And me and him became great friends. But perks of living next to a train track, I guess. But anyway, so I ended up winning. And they're coming to do the congratulations speech, and Goldberg just out of nowhere from like 40 feet away is like, "I hope you never make me call you Spicy Mike again." What? Like,
he is big, like he's a big motherfucker. Yeah. At least how he looked on TV.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's a great big guy.
Yeah.
So he's walking towards me and he says that, and I was like, what? Like, why though? Like that's been my nickname for like the last 6 years. Like, why would you say that? He's like, I don't know. It's weird. Okay. So I was like, well, to be fair, it's weird to see you not in boots and underwear.
So are you and Goldberg best friends now?
Oh no, I don't think he liked me.
Oh, that's fair.
No, I don't think he liked me at all. Not because of this interaction, but because he's a very. If you're in the wrestling industry, you have to be assertive all the time, and
so you're an actor.
Yeah, basically, you have to constantly prove that you can do the thing. You have to constantly prove that you're strong. You have to constantly have, especially when he came up was in the Attitude Era. That's when you had to be the tough guy, right?
Yeah, little NWO versus WCW.
Yeah, all of that. I was, that's when I grew up. Yeah. But from what he had to do, I understand why he didn't like me, because I'm very competitive. But I don't care if I win or not. I do the competition to get better, and I want to see where I rank and see where I can improve. And so when he was like, he asked me specifically a lot of questions, and he didn't get the answers he wanted. He was like, "What do you think you're going to win?" I'm like, I don't really. I just want to see how I'm going to do. I'm just here because it sounded fun, and he didn't necessarily like those answers because he's ad lib. He's very, you got to be tough all the time,
right?
And I'm just not that way. I just want to get better.
If he happens to listen to this, I will fight Goldberg.
I'm sure he's listening. I'm sure.
Absolutely.
If Goldberg is listening to this, I will. Actually, I've wanted to do this for a long time because I appreciated. He may not have liked me, but he treated me very well while I was on Knife or Death. And I actually, if I do a YouTube video, or if you guys help me edit one, I would appreciate it if it would be a special edition knife for Goldberg.
Okay.
Because I've wanted to do that for a long time. But anyway, back to the story.
It'll be in the shape of a little bitch.
He's never going to come on here.
I'm just antagonizing.
But anyway, so basically he said that, and I was like, why would you say that? It's weird. And he's like, I don't like saying your name. It's weird to me. And I was like, well, to be fair, it's weird to see you not in boots and underwear. And he just lost all of, everything that was scripted just left his mind. And he had nothing to say for 30 seconds. And I know that doesn't sound long.
That's a long time.
When you're staring at someone for 30 seconds and they're not talking, it's a very long time. And I was like, what do you want? And he's like, why would you say that? Literally, that came out of his mouth. He's like, I don't remember the exact words he said, but it was basically, why would you say that? I was like, you said it was weird to call me my own nickname. I don't understand. And he was like, well, I guess we're even then. That's the best he could come up with.
I'll see you in the cage Sunday night.
I don't know many people that are even with Steven Goldberg. Steven's his first name, right?
I don't know.
All right. Well, Goldberg. I don't know many people that are even with Goldberg, but apparently I'm among the ranks.
So I'm going to throw this comment up real quick from Aaron.
That had to be the worst 30 seconds of your life, not knowing how disfigured you may become. Oh, no, he didn't seem threatening at all. So being into his life is basically an actor, because that's what modern, I wouldn't say modern wrestling, but the last, let's say 25 years of wrestling has basically been acting.
Yeah.
And that's not to shit on the wrestlers. They're entertainers. That's what they're paid to do. And you have to be good at it. It takes a skill to do it. But I threw him off his game and he didn't know how to deal with it.
And that's impressive in and of itself, honestly.
Yeah.
I would agree if he had some sort of they don't give us a script, they give them a script on what they expect us to say. And I'm sure from this podcast you guys have realized I'm kind of an off the books kind of guy.
Yeah.
I don't go by a script. I just kind of say whatever the fuck,
Right.
And he was not expecting that.
Nice. Well, so we're hitting about the 2-hour mark. Mostly you guys can talk. I have to piss so fucking bad. But I was going to ask if he had anything to promote.
I was going to ask. Lead, so I mean, like, mission accomplished, right?
Right. Do you have anything that you would like to promote?
Not really. I would say, you know, I know how Hot Ones works. At the end, you're supposed to be like, I have this coming up. Go follow this. Go check this out. Dragon cruise noises or whatever. Sure. But like, no, you know, if you enjoyed, I guess my views on stuff. If you enjoyed me, go look up 7th Dragon Knifeworks on Facebook. I don't know why I squeaked when I said that, but I did.
Because you're cute.
Oh man, blush. But no, like if you want to, if you're a podcaster specifically, I want to start doing more podcasts. I don't even care if you have followers. I just enjoy doing this kind
You're in luck.
Not you guys. God.
Oh, sorry.
I'm obviously already on here. But no, like even if you have no followers, me and my buddy, we do a podcast that we don't even post. We record it and then we listen to it later, and then we delete it. Like it never goes up.
Podcast falls in the woods. Does it make a sound?
It's like one hand clapping.
That's interesting. You do a podcast with your friend and you guys don't release it.
No, we don't release it because we want to do a good one. But
we do too.
No, we want to do a good one, so we've been practicing, I guess you would say.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, we eventually will put out our own, and we don't expect to have much of a following, but like we just enjoy drinking together and talking, and we like to listen to it.
Don't steal our idea.
Oh, trust me, no, we're gonna do it good.
Thank
you. No, but we do it mostly for us. Sounds like porn. Yeah, we basically fuck each other and then we post it.
Again, don't steal our idea.
No, no, but we do it just because it makes us happy. We enjoy having these kind of long form conversations, especially when we're drunk. And you know how, but like by the end of it, well, maybe not you guys. You guys don't drink as fast as we do. But by the end of it, you know, we don't always remember everything we talked about. So the next morning, it's always nice to be like, oh, that's what. Fuck you, Aaron. I love it. That's what you put on your phone. But anyway, yeah, it's fun to us to practice. We're getting really good at it. We're trying to just get our bearings because if we're going to release a podcast, we want it to be, we want it to flow well.
Sure.
Yeah. Which you're one step ahead of like 90% of podcasts out there, including ours.
No, you guys are actually really good. I wish I was in the studio with you. This would have been way more interesting.
Would you come here at some point and be in studio with us
tomorrow?
We would give you a free place to stay. You could crash at my house.
Oh, dope! How much alcohol you have?
I have a lot.
Perfect. Sounds great.
Yep. It'll have to be in a weekend where I don't have my kids because they think I'm like don't drink and cuss.
Oh, you get your kids? That's awesome.
Yeah, I have 2 guest bedrooms now, so technically you
can stay with you guys. Well. Yeah, I guess I just assumed because you hate Hunter and you would let him stay. I assumed you would.
There's a difference. Hunter hit on my daughter unsuccessfully.
No, he didn't hit on your daughter.
I'm sorry, you're right.
He got really uncomfortable and fucking bitched out around your daughter.
I forgot about that. Yeah. No.
sorry, Mike.
So
we had a kid on. He's a stand-up comedian out of North Carolina, and he was talking shit about how he was going to hit on Joey's daughter, and she intentionally came down on purpose, and he just fucking like deer in the headlights bailed on that shit. It was amazing.
He said he would hit on her, and I went and got her and said, "Hey, there's a guy down here that says he's going to hit on you," and she jumped at the chance to come down here because she knows. Yeah, it is, and I will say
that's some like she's got some balls, dude. That's good.
No, I will say his daughter's fucking badass. She's a badass bitch. She really, like Gabe has taken over as my favorite, but she's a second. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Mike, I don't know. Are we? You want to keep going?
I'm good. No,
I have to piss.
I know you do. I know
you guys can talk. I'm going to go piss.
That's fine. We'll end so you can piss, and Mike and I will talk after we quit recording.
Before you guys go, you want to do a shot before we check out?
Sure. Hold on.
Yes.
I'm not even going to pour lime in this shit.
I woke up at like 5 p.m. today, so my entire goal is just to go back to sleep.
You're essentially like morning drinking right now.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I will say it has been an absolute blast hanging out with you guys. Hopefully next time we'll have better quality. Being as I want to get into podcasting, I will have better quality stuff next time. We just had our internet fixed, so it won't be this grainy, and it won't be this choppy.
Actually, your video quality looks really good. We've only had that one moment of freezing up,
Yep.
but as a whole, it's been great.
All right. Well, I mean, that's awesome. But, I'm always striving to get better at literally everything I do, podcasting included. I'm just glad you guys had me on.
Dude, it was a great time.
It was great. So hang tight for just a second, and then we'll talk afterwards.
Yeah, if you don't mind. So this has been Aaron, fucking Mike.
Nope. Yeah.
This last shot was way just too much.
Yeah.
7th Dragon Knifeworks.
Right.
.com or Facebook, whatever. I don't
Facebook.com/7th Dragon Knifeworks.
Yeah.
Yep.
That. So
podcast coming at some point.
Yep.
Let's see what else. You got anything you
No, I got nothing.
Okay.
So
next week, as of right now, it'll just be the two of us.
Yep, it'll just be the two of us. But Mike, if you'll stay on the line for like 2 seconds after we end the broadcast, we'll talk to you about some shit.
I already said that to him.
I know.
Aaron dropped a fun comment.
Aaron, what did Aaron say? Way
hold
better
on.
than the chicks stuck in a closet for 2 weeks.
Oh,
ago.
that was our
Sticks
last
and Stones,
guess.
Alyssa and
Sticks
Kristen.
Stones.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in.
Thanks for listening. Until
right.
next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Give us a thumbs up on Facebook at B3F Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at B3F Podcast and on Instagram at B3F_podcast. Send us your questions or comments to bfff.podcast@gmail.com. Rate us and review us wherever you listen to the show. And as always, thanks for listening.